again, and this time she's doing it with Frankie's Bikinis.
Frankie's Bikinis. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Cosmetics founder announced her upcoming Kai X Frankie's collab drop, writing, "I've been dreaming of creating the perfect vintage bombshell-inspired swimwear." She added, "We poured love into every detail, promising that the most dreamy prints and flattering fits."
So I've seen pics of her modeling these bathing suits, and they look great.
Yeah,
Can't argue with
they
that.
just pulled them up.
Yeah.
Steve, I'm telling you, like, it's wild. I know you don't spend a whole lot of time on the beach, but, like, some of the bathing suits that these women are wearing, like, on the beach.
Case, it's been a long time. You're right. It's been a long time since I've been to the actual beach, and I prefer the beach to like a pool.
Yeah.
But so you're saying it's
It was
crazy.
last weekend was packed. I mean, it was 4th of July weekend, and yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Really. Absolutely.
So how is your discreet looking game gotten?
Oh,
you're wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
And you just don't move your neck.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't move. You just gotta look up to the side. So the line launches on July 16th. Will feature polka dots, lace, push-up tops, and cheeky bottoms for a hot girl summer vibe. Sizes run from double XS, so double extra small,
I mean, it's non-existent.
to double XL.
I mean, the joke of the floss bikini is not a joke anymore, right?
Right, yeah. And prices fall between $85 and $195. There'll also be
Jesus.
dresses and separates. Okay. With Jenner already previewing the looks on her recent Euro trip.
Separate's like mix and match bottoms.
Okay.
And
Could you
bottoms
imagine
and tops,
dropping $200 on a garment you could literally fit in the palm of your hand?
Well, listen, that is the racket that is women's fashion and all of that stuff. Like, underwear, bras, like it's all haircuts.
Very little material and very expensive.
For a lot.
Yeah.
And well made, though, so it's going to last a long time.
You would hope, right?
You think so.
So
And
is this brand, do you think, is well made? Or?
sure, I'm sure
Yeah.
it's great stuff. Do you guys notice like a lot more butts? If you can thank Europe
Yeah,
for that,
that's what we're
because
saying, yeah.
I think the fashion has finally caught up with the European fashion and noticed that it's much more complementary to a derriere, if you will, with a smaller butt instead of like a lot of fabric wrapped around with your bathing suits.
I was not there, but my father-in-law went to a grocery store at the shore, and they came back with regaling us a story of a woman in the store wearing butt floss bikini bottom. Like he could not believe it. And apparently she had a booty too.
Yeah?
Like a big old booty.
Yeah.
And he was just like, he was like, I don't know what to tell you about that.
You can do side bands or shit
It
up.
was crazy. So anyhow, this is after the flop of Kylie's swim in 2021. Fans are watching closely to see how this new collab.
Preston, can I talk to you over here for a second?
Yeah.
I swear I could see your mouth.
He didn't say that, but
So, okay, I don't mean to derail. I know we're pressed for time. Out there, because you're wearing that bathing suit on the beach, do you see a lot of people who are virtually naked going into the Wawa and stuff like that when you're shopping?
Not normally.
Okay.
Not normally.
Because I think there's like
people
kind
usually
of a
have
protocol,
cover-ups
right?
and stuff like that.
Okay, all right.
yeah, they'll put a little sarong around or something.
That's what
like
I
that.
wear.
Yeah. All right, so Becca Tilley and Haley Kyoko are officially engaged after 7 years together, and the internet is so here for it.
Oh, I'm so there for here.
I'm going to go on the internet to find out who the hell
Well,
they are.
they're Bachelor Nation people.
Oh, okay.
So the couple shared a sweet proposal pic on Instagram with Kyoko writing, "My dream girl said yes to forever. I love you." Fans of Bachelor Nation faves like JoJo Fletcher flooded the comments with support. The two first met in 2018 and sparked rumors with Becca starring in Haley's music video for the Girls in 2022 and confirmed later that year that they are an item. So they're apparently engaged.
That's a hell of a ring.
Yeah, it is. So somebody's making some money. So former supermodel Paulina Porskova has found a new love. I love you. She made the She made the announcement of her engagement to longtime boyfriend Jeff Greenstein in a clip on Instagram.
They call him Drinkenstein.
Showing the two happily driving along and she flashed her new ring towards the camera. She captioned the post, "He asked."
She had a pretty crappy end to the marriage with Rick Ocasek, right?
Yeah.
It was bad. And Nick,
He was dying.
And Nick, I really sort of feel that he was a prick to her.
Yeah, and it was towards the end of his life,
Yeah.
and then, like the finances at the end of his life didn't go well with her.
No.
It was messy, and that's
so they separated a year before he died. So whatever it was, I
Yeah.
guess they
announced the separation a year before he died. You know,
Yeah.
who knows how long before that actually
Yeah.
happened? If it was, and this is a longtime boyfriend. Anyway,
So Greenstein, not Stain, posted the same clip to his socials. Yeah.
The monster, and they call him Greenstein.
He, alongside the caption, wrote, "She said yes." The two have been dating for over 2 years. So, yeah, she's found herself a better place to be.
She certainly could not be called a pretty boy chaser.
Right.
No,
Nope,
no.
definitely not. I mean, this guy's fairly average looking,
Yeah.
and Grieco Kasich was average to odd looking, I guess,
Yeah,
somewhere in
yeah.
that range. Very nice guy. I had a chance to meet him one time. Paris Jackson has raised serious concerns over what she describes as irregular payments made by the executors of Michael Jackson's estate, objecting to their request for legal fees tied to unrecorded work from 2018. In court filings, Paris criticized John Branca and John McClain for failing to provide clear answers or timely submissions,
Come out to the coast. We'll have some laughs.
stating that such delays make meaningful review nearly impossible. Her lawyer argued that some of the payments were lavish gratuities to already well-compensated attorneys and claims that there are discrepancies in the amounts billed. Paris also noted that the two law firms appear to have been paid in full despite court orders limiting payments to partial amounts until approval. She demanded the court deny the fee request and called for a formal plan to address the delays. The executors claimed that they had an agreement with Michael's children to submit legal fee petitions in 6-month increments.
Okay, so forgive me because a lot of time has lapsed, but who is her? Who do we believe? Who have we been told her mother is?
Debbie Rowe?
Yeah, right? Was
Paris,
Debbie Rowe?
I don't know.
Hell.
hell.
Crazy,
I'm
right?
lost.
You can't keep up with it.
I'm sorry, even you up there,
I'm
Michael?
up here looking down.
Wow.
No sad, bro.
it is it's Debbie Rowe.
Okay.
Oh, it is,
That's
okay.
what we were told. I just looked up her Instagram, and I had forgotten that she's a working and active musician. She played Red Rocks last night in Colorado.
Okay.
And
Last
she's
night?
she's
Yeah.
not bad from
No.
what I remember.
Steve, it looks like she's doing acoustic sets, and she's touring with a couple of other bands. But I mean, to play Red Rocks, it's impressive.
A
Okay.
little girl.
Yeah. All right,
No sad, bro.
if you've watched any commercial television in the last decade, then you've no doubt seen Milana Vaintrub. She is most famous as the adorable Lily in those AT&T commercials.
Oh, dude, and she is.
She's beautiful.
Buxom.
Yeah, back in March, she sold some flirty pictures of herself through onlyphilanthropy.com and used the money to help, quote, a single mom who lost everything in the Los Angeles wildfires. And now she's at it again with a new photo shoot. And this time, her hope is to use the money from this batch to fulfill over 30 GoFundMes for disabled families affected by the same fire.
So only philanthropy, and I've heard about this peripherally. I like this concept. So you obviously take the OnlyFans sort of thing, and you kind of capitalize on this, and that's what she did.
And you do it for charity.
For good, yeah.
Yeah, so she said she calls the website the little experiment that actually worked. So if you're a fan and you want to help out, you should definitely take a look at that. Let me see a couple other things to mention here. Steve, I was curious what you thought of this. Oscar-winning Milos Forman directed movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, starring Jack Nicholson, of course, might get the television treatment. Producer Paul Zentz, the nephew of the Hollywood Classics original producer Saul Zentz, mentioned plans for a series during a press conference at the Karlovy Vary International Film Festival, in which he appeared with producer and Hollywood legend Michael Douglas. The two traveled to the Czech spa town to present a newly restored version of the 1975 classic as it celebrated its 50th anniversary this year. Now, the movie is based on the 1962 novel of the same name by Ken Casey, about a new patient at a mental institution. Louise Fletcher portrays the domineering head nurse, Ratchet, of course. But Zentz said, "We just made an arrangement with Ken Casey's family to possibly do a television series, but it's based on the book. And the book was actually told through the eyes of Chief Broadman. Or Bromden, the tall, deaf, mute Native American portrayed in the movie by Will Sampson. So the television series would be through his eyes.
So there are people who are real purists about that book, and there are parts like that were left out because it was a stage show. In fact, Kirk Douglas played the Jack Nicholson. Yeah, played the
R.P. McMurphy.
R.P. McMurphy. So, if it fleshes that out, I'd be okay with that.
I think it'd be cool, especially since it's been 50 years.
Yeah.
And the film still stands on its own without question, but it'd be cool to, re-examine that. So he signaled how he envisions the story arc. He said at the end of the first season, the R.P. McMurphy, a Jack Nicholson character, would die, he says. And then the second year would be what happens to the chief after he escapes, because that happens at the end of the movie.
Okay,
So
all right.
Maybe.
Intriguing.
Maybe expand the story a little bit. All right, the paper, the spinoff series of The Office, finally has a premiere date, and the show will hit Peacock on September 4th. The first 4 episodes will come out all at once, with new episodes released every Thursday after that through September 25th. The paper will see the same documentary crew from The Office find a new subject in a historic Midwestern newspaper, and the publisher trying to revive it. So that is on the way. Also, Netflix's drama, The Altruist, has gotten bigger, adding 10 new names to its growing cast. And among the new regulars are Eugene Young as Gary Wang, Madison Hu as Constance Wang, and Matt Rife as Ryan Salami, which is a great name, by the way.
Ryan Salami.
Well, it says Salame, and I'm
going with
assuming
salami.
they're going to pronounce it Salami. They'll join Julie Garner and Anthony Boyle, who are already set, and the 8-episode limited series dives into what Netflix describes as the story of Sam Bankman-Fried and Caroline Ellison.
Yeah, the guy who's the massive crypto. He's the Bernie Madoff of crypto.
Yeah, they try to remake the global financial system and then seduce, coax, and teased each other into stealing $8 billion. We're a big step closer to the Scrubs reboot. ABC is officially given the green light to the return of the popular series, giving it a straight-to-series order. OG stars Donald Faison and Sarah Chalk have closed deals to return in the original roles alongside Zach Braff, who signed on back in May.
The Faison-Braff pairing is perfect.
Yeah.
They haven't lost a step.
Yep.
They work really well together. Sarah Chalk is great as well. I love that show for the bulk of its run. So, I'm down with this.
Bill Lawrence attached to it?
It's his name's not mentioned in this, Nick, so I don't know. Judy Reyes, who played head nurse Carla Espinoza in the original series, is currently starring on ABC's High Potential, though conversations are being had that would allow her to return in some capacity to Sacred Heart Hospital.
She's excellent. She's the police captain on High Potential.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we will see how all of that shapes up. This was something I wasn't expecting. Larry David and Barack Obama are teaming up for a sketch comedy show. Specifically, David will star in, co-write, and executive produce a show about American history, while Obama's company, Higher Ground, will produce this. Barack Obama said, "I've sat across the table from some of the world's most difficult leaders and wrestled with some of our most intractable problems. Nothing has prepared me for working with Larry David." The show, currently untitled, is set for 6 episodes on HBO. It's expected to come out next year to coincide with the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States. Former Queer Eye star Bobby Burke has landed on his feet, and he has got a new TV show. HGTV has announced that Burke will star in Junk or Jackpot later this year.
You're going to say something else. Junk or jerk off.
Okay. I
don't know why I got that in my mind. So it hung a 180 and go, well, I might look into this.
The series will follow Burke as he helps homeowners decide whether to keep their unique collections like superhero figurines, rare puppets and dolls and things like that. Now you're on board.
Now I was on board with the self-pleasuring, and now it's even better.
So, or do they sell them in order to renovate their outdated homes? The 6-episode first season does not yet have a premiere date as of yet.
I've been dipping my toes back into the the do-it-yourself, the HGTV stuff.
I put it on when I just want the TV on.
Yeah.
And I'm not really going to watch TV.
Do you know?
I'll go to HGTV, and then it could just stay on.
Oh, I hear it's like a friend in the back talking.
Yeah.
But for me, it's because we're redoing our kitchen.
Oh, okay.
And so I kind of like, what a, kind of
Inspiration.
Now I'm in
Yep,
that
yep.
zone,
Yep. By the way, I need to do a follow-up. I sold my dolls, my figurines.
Yes.
If you remember, via the auction.
What is the name of that place again?
I knew you were going to ask.
Sorry.
I completely
Sorry.
forgot. It's all right. No, but I need to. I need to have Tank is the guy who runs it. I
Yeah.
got to have him by here to give me my check and see what I made it. But maybe he'll pop in some morning. All right.
The archive auction?
Yes, that's it. Thank you. Nick McWayne saves me. It's in Souderton, right? Or Lansdale.
Lansdale, yeah.
All right. There's movies opening this weekend. Opening today. Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm going to do this for Casey, all right? Hold on.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I stopped it.
All right, here we go. Hang on. Okay. Superman opens. Action, adventure, sci-fi, fantasy, starring Philadelphia's own David Cornswet, Rachel Brosnahan, and Nicholas Hoult. And when Superman gets drawn into conflicts and at home and abroad, his actions are questioned, giving tech billionaire Lex Luthor the opportunity to get the Man of Steel out of the way for good. Will intrepid reporter Lois Lane and Superman's four-legged companion Krypto be able to help him before it's too late? 2 hours and 9 minutes, rated PG-13, wide theater release, and a nice 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. So that's good news. That's,
So I have my ticket today, 3D, IMAX, KOP. Can't wait.
Excellent. We also have Sovereign opening. It's an action crime drama and stars Dennis Quaid, Jacoby Tremblay, and Nick Offerman. Inspired by real events, a provocative true crime thriller about a father and his teenage son, Jerry and Joseph Kane, who follow the sovereign citizen belief system, a deeply anti-establishment worldview rooted in distrust of government authority. And as the pair travel across the country delivering self-taught legal seminars and pushing back against systems they believe have failed them, their journey brings them into conflict with Police Chief Jim Bouchard. Setting off a tragic chain of events that forces a reckoning with power, principle, and the limits of freedom. It is an hour and 40 minutes long, rated R, limited theater release, and streaming. And Rotten Tomatoes score, 88%. So
Not bad.
No, not
too
bad at all.
Yep.
I saw a trailer for this, and Nick Offerman, he's such a great actor.
He is
man.
really good.
He
at it.
really is.
I mean,
yeah.
I loved him on Parks and Rec, but I had no idea. You take the Last of Us episode he did and all this stuff. I didn't know he had that kind of emotional depth.
Yep. All right, we got clips to play. 2019 Stephen King novel The Institute is being reimagined for the streaming world, and in this clip, Ben Barnes describes what drew him to this heroic role.
Actually, what I found really intriguing about this character is that this was a character who sort of knows that one of his flaws is that he has a trigger for wanting to involve himself where he sees injustice and knows that that is a flaw of his.
Doesn't he talk funny?
So The Institute premieres Sunday on MGM+.
So apparently, I guess it's Mary Louise Parker is the there's
The
the,
head of the
villainess,
Institute,
the nurse Ratchet, and that she's amazing.
Yeah. Next clip, here we go. Michael C. Hall reprising his iconic role for the sequel series Dexter Resurrection, and here he talks about why he decided to bring the serial killer back to the small screen.
And I just let it come out of my mouth one day, like, what if he didn't die? What would that look like? What kind of storytelling possibilities would that afford us? Would that be interesting? And it became increasingly interesting the more we talked about it. The idea of a character like this having a second chance.
Nick, what's up?
I went to a hotel called the Empire Hotel in New York on over the weekend, and the reason I bring it up is that my wife and I went there. We had some drinks. They had a really cool rooftop bar. We were hanging out, having a really nice time. They were setting up for something. What I didn't realize that they were setting up for in the bar where we were was the Dexter Insurrection after party. They had a premiere over the weekend, and I'm followed this hotel now on Instagram. And that night, Michael C. Hall's in the same room where we were earlier in the day. I was like,
idea.
son of a bitch, man!
Wow.
I had no idea
That's
this was
very
coming.
cool. Yeah.
So, wait, I threw the sheet away.
That Dexter Original Sin or Direct Dexter something or other.
Hang on, here I got it.
Resurrection.
Dexter Resurrection premieres today. Paramount Plus with Showtime. by
The
the
full
way.
title, Dexter Nerds in Paradise.
And that is what I have in the entertainment report for you this morning, dear friend. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a moment. We got a number of things that we're going to get to through the course of our program. We'll give away our Word of the Week prize. We got the Connoisseur. We got some other things to give away. So stay put. We think you'll be glad you did, and we'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
It's Kath. So every now and then a news story will pop up, and I will know that people want us to talk about it because they send me the article over and over and over. And yesterday it was brawl at Golden Corral Steakhouse in Bensalem, Pennsylvania.
It's a steakhouse?
Well, not really.
We had just been
buffet,
talking about
It's a
Golden
buffet,
Corral,
but
right?
Yeah, but they're known for steaks.
Okay, I didn't know that.
But yes, it's one of those places you can go in and get your steaks, and it's like Sizzler or Sizzling.
Well, we were talking to somebody
Sizzler,
about
yes,
it, about and I forget exactly what we were talking about.
We were actually looking to see, because we said there were none in this area,
Right.
and then I found this one. I said, there's actually one in Bensalem.
And so that, look at that.
And this is the
We
one-
might have
I think we did
circuitously caused the brawl.
So, and how
by
many
getting
points-
people so excited for Golden Corral.
Kat, how many points did you guys get awarded? Did Bucks County get awarded just for having a Golden Corral? I think it was like 10 points.
They didn't get.
I don't think
They
so.
did. No, they did.
No.
As a
Hold
matter
on.
of fact, you
Oh my God,
spitefully gave them points because I was like,
Oh, God.
because whatever. I don't want to get into it, but
All right.
but they did get points just for having a Golden Corral.
Marissa, do you remember?
Wait, I'm pulling up the official Word document. Delco versus Bucksco. On 126, 5 points for having an old school buffet, Golden Corral.
Oh
Okay. All
my
right.
God!
So I
and
got-
then a
and then
brawl. So here's the deal.
You can't take them away.
The way the point system works for
You
the Bi-County Cup is we don't take away points, we only give points. So we're avoiding the negative.
Well,
and we're
hold
only
on. Here's
highlighting the positive.
Maybe this was called for.
Yeah,
Do you know what happened?
Now, I saw a Reddit thread, and it was mainly it went into different directions, but it was suggesting that it started as an argument because they ran out of steak. Now, I don't know if that's
Okay,
the case
here's
or
what I
not.
heard. That's very tangential to what I heard.
Okay.
I heard it started because someone got their steak before someone
Oh.
perceived that their meal had been ordered after. So there was a question about who got their steak before the other person.
That can be restaurant contention. When you see another
Right.
group,
How are they getting their food?
before you do? Yes.
Not. This is not certified
Right.
as the reason why this has happened.
It's
but
scuttlebutt.
A scuttlebutt. A number of different sources. Apparently, that argument or that perception immediately escalated to chair throwing.
Wow.
Like it got crazy quickly.
It was bad. So a good source for anything Bucks County, whether it's good or bad, is Levittown Now, and they had this story up like right after it had happened. I believe it happened on Sunday. But the guy Tom that runs the site, at least according to him, that this place often has security guards.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
I've got Jay on the line. Used to work there.
Okay.
Says there were tons of fights there. So let's go to Jay. Hey, Jay, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Hey, how are you?
Wonderful, man. All right, so you worked at this very Golden Corral?
Yeah, in Bensalem, dude. That place is a barn, dude. Listen, dude, it was like the UFC in there, dude. Dude, they would fight over it. I want my steak medium. I want it well, dude. People were jumping in line. I never seen nothing like it, dude. People were trying to hand me money to give them steak. It's insane, dude.
Did you ever know? I assume you've seen the footage of this brawl, right?
What is it?
You saw this brawl, right?
Yeah, did you see the footage that made the news the other day?
No, dude. As soon as I heard it, dude, I had to jump on the phone.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
as soon as-
badass, Jay.
I
This
couldn't
is
believe
like-
it. I was like, dude, it made the paper finally, dude. Holy.
Well, this is really hardcore. There are people like Steve has said that are throwing chairs and high chairs. There's a guy that picks up a whole table,
yeah.
and you can see a woman come over and go, "Dude, put the table down, man."
Dude, it's insane.
Really,
Listen,
Jay, when did you work there? What was your time there?
I was a chef. I worked there in 2015.
Okay.
I worked there for a year and a half. Dude, I've seen probably, I'm not even lying to you, probably 9 fights.
And would they happen
at a Golden Corral?
Would they usually happen like
the line goes out the door all the way into the parking lot? I mean, it was hours. I mean, I never seen nothing.
All right, Jay, hold on a second. Preston has a question.
Yeah,
Preston?
Jay, would it happen like on weekend nights or at any?
Holidays are the best, dude. Listen, the holidays, dude, people are getting smoked, dude. They want that steak, dude. I'm telling you.
I didn't know. Jay, I didn't ever realize that the big draw at the Golden Corral was the steak.
Dude, it was insane, dude. I never knew it till I got a job there, dude.
Wow.
I mean, dude, it is insane.
All right, man.
You don't even need to go to UFC. Just go to Golden Corral.
That's hilarious, Jay.
Wow. We got
So
about,
they-
50 dudes on this phone call.
At least you were back there. You had knives to protect yourself back in the kitchen.
I have plexiglass right in front of me, too. So
Yeah,
I was like being in jail.
Oh, my God.
You know?
I'll tell you this: they trash this place, Preston. It takes about
Thanks, Jay.
a minute and a half, and they've trashed it entirely.
I can't believe they're throwing the high chairs.
By the way, those are effing heavy.
Well, especially the dude picks up a table.
Yeah.
And that could have killed somebody.
And now nobody gets steak.
Yeah,
Get
get out of here.
pissy
Nobody's
that
getting
you didn't get
steak.
your steak in time, and now nobody gets steak.
Do we have the audio of the brawl? Marissa's going to send it over.
We got about
And
20
look,
seconds.
there's girls in there. Like,
yeah.
kids in
Girls,
there.
kids, everything.
Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. Let's play a little clip of the audio of the There's a text came in and said the Golden Corral owner is cool. I used to fix his equipment. He took care of us and tipped us. But that place is, well, I can't say what it says there. I can't say what it says there.
Do you know what I'm tired of with the current crop of brawl videos or fight videos? The guy who's always taking it is always going, OS.
Yeah.
OS.
Yeah.
OS.
Yeah, but you know what? That guy's standing back. I'd rather hear him do that than jump
But
in on it all.
give us some color commentary.
Yeah.
Remember the Wawa
Know how
fight
to
in
report.
Delaware, not in Delaware, in Florida, where the
Yes.
guy was commenting on?
Yeah.
His commentary was actually pretty good.
Right.
Where the dude lose
Give
his pants.
us some color commentary. Tell us what's going on.
So reading the news report, the police report, it said that they didn't have an exact count on how many people were involved, but officers believe it was more than 40.
Oh, clearly.
And the fight left the dining room heavily damaged and sent people fleeing for safety. There weren't police weren't aware of any serious injuries. No arrests had been made.
If I found myself in this situation, I would not be like in the mix throwing chairs. I would
leave.
be the
I'd be in the parking
second,
lot.
the first person out the door.
That's what you need to do.
I
You need
can't
to get
say,
out.
though, if I were clocked in the back, if I just passively was sitting there and got clocked in the back of the head with a chair,
You might
that I
react.
might not freak the F out.
Stand up and throw a high chair.
Right,
I mean, if you got caught up in it, it might be more. It might be more difficult to leave. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Right.
Have you ever been close to when a brawl or even a large conflagration like this kicks into effect? It's easy to get swept up in it, even if that is the last thing you want.
No, I've been literally stuck in the middle of a brawl that I had nothing to do with. Those sort of things happen in nightclubs and bars all the time.
A lot, you're right.
This is just a restaurant. I don't know if they serve
A
alcohol.
Golden Corral!
I don't know if they serve alcohol, but when alcohol's involved, it happens quite a bit. Now, one time and the bar doesn't even exist anymore. It was in Wayne. I was in the dance floor and a fight erupted around me, and I didn't know anybody involved in the fight, and I was getting jostled and thrown all over the place. And the next thing you know, my buddy John grabbed me, and next thing I know, I'm in the parking lot. I'm like, how the hell did that happen?
Good for him.
Yeah, the dance floor where the fight happened, there was an exit right there, and it was right at the parking lot. I was like, dude, like saved my life.
Yeah.
Steve, I don't know if I've been in a brawl like that, but I have been in a food fight in high school, and Honestly, it was a lot of fun. Like, you had the feeling that like it was about to start, and then like you'd see one grape go flying, and then like 3 more grapes went in this direction, and then apples started going, and all of a sudden it just turns into mass chaos. And it probably lasted 45 seconds to a minute, but during that time, it was pretty awesome.
Nick, I was actually in college when Animal House came out.
Okay.
And so, yes, that became so common that the school had to put a kibosh on it. They were benevolent. They were food fights.
Yeah.
But when you're like, you don't know what's... Imagine you're sitting... Apparently, Golden Corral serves one hell of a steak. Yeah. And imagine you're at a Golden Corral where you... It's like going to the Cracker Barrel and having a fight between the Bloods and the Crips.
Right.
Somebody texted and said it was a group of about 60 people. Wait, was this the same one? I don't know if they're referring to the Golden Corral fight or another. It might be continuing from another text, but said that it was a post-funeral group. Oh, no serious injuries. That might have been a different thing. Another one says Aramingo Diner in Philly was a brawl every weekend.
You know what was bad, from what I understand, Preston? Up here on City Line, the House of Pancakes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So it was so bad, and I didn't realize this. And my wife and I went in, we were coming back from something, and it was there. Okay, let's go in. And they actually made us pay
in advance.
In advance.
Right.
They had made us pay in advance, and then the woman there indicated that there were people dining and dashing constantly, and people fighting all the time. It was the craziest thing in an international pancake house.
Kathy, somebody says Bucks Go should get extra points for dinner and a show.
Right, exactly. Apparently, I just got a text from a friend who's told me that one of our other friends actually goes to this place.
Well, apparently the steak's good.
I've been to Golden Corral. Like it is it's it is what you would imagine it to be. But but the fact that somebody was ready to throw down because they believe the other table got their steak first.
Well, and how does it turn into that? Like, aren't you then mad at the server or the chef back in the kitchen who sent somebody else's out first? Like, how does it turn into everyone involved?
What can happen is, somebody asks a question, well, how come they got their food before I did? And then that person in that
Why don't you mind your own business?
might say something back, and then next thing you know,
it's all in.
People are being absolute idiots. Hang on a second here. Let me go to Heather. Hi, Heather. Good morning.
It's that you just look so nice today.
Well done.
Thank you. What's up, Heather?
I literally just got out of the shower. This is not even funny. Okay. I watch 6 ABC every morning, and morning, noon, and night, and they had an update. They had the guy that threw the high chair, and he ordered his steak like on the rarer side, and the guy in front of him, because I think you line up and you tell the person behind the glass how you want it, what you want, and the guy in front of him got so pissed off that he got his steak first that he started the argument, and he hit him, and then the guy defended himself with the chairs. But I've been to that place once, and I will never go back.
So, and apparently the guy got his steak quicker because
he ordered it rare. Yeah.
Therefore, it takes less time to cook.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Marissa. Being the end of the week, I think I better do this or things are going to explode. I got to clean out my junk drawer.
It's the junk drawer. Preston's cleaning out his junk drawer. Getting things out of his junk drawer. Finding stuff here in the junk drawer.
All right, let me rifle around in here and see if I can find something for y'all. Oh, yeah. Here's one I wanted to talk about. So a federal rule, designed to make canceling subscriptions as easy as signing up for them has been struck down by a U.S. federal appeals court just days before it was scheduled to take effect. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit vacated the Federal Trade Commission's click-to-cancel rule, which would have required companies to allow consumers to cancel subscriptions using the same method they used to sign up, after finding that the commission behind it failed to follow required procedures under the FTC Act during the rulemaking process. So there was like a clerical screw-up, and now we don't get this thing that was going to be much easier to get rid of subscriptions.
It would have been great.
Yeah.
It would have been great. And I can't help but feel that somewhere along the line, somebody greased a lawyer to make sure, because if you think about, and I saw a report on it, I forget the amount, but the amount of money that gets spent simply because people say, the hell with it, I'll cancel it later. I can't figure out how to do this. The amount of revenue that is being generated simply because it's frustrating for people to cancel.
Just yesterday or the day before.
Right.
My sister, which is a whole bag of issues.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help her with some money things, and we're looking at things she's paying for. She's been paying for AOL for years and does not use it.
You mentioned this.
Years.
And Spotify as well.
No, it turned out that was something else. It was something called Shopify.
Shopify. Okay.
Which she doesn't know how she ended up with that account, but now is having to go through the like somebody is taking advantage of her.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's
so
bad.
that's a whole process. But the AOL thing she's been paying for it forever, and I'm like, you have to cancel this.
Yeah.
And did. That was just her not having the knowledge that was even there because she doesn't pay close enough attention to her bills.
I love the concept that it's easy, and it's always very easy to become a member or subscribe. That should be the exact same process to unsubscribe.
So wait, so is this just struck down because there was a
clerical
issue?
Yeah.
So it might come back?
The court wrote, while we certainly do not endorse the use of unfair and deceptive practices in negative option marketing, the procedural deficiencies of the commission's rulemaking process are fatal here, adding that vacatur of the entire rule is appropriate in this case because of the prejudice suffered by petitioners as a result of the commission's procedural error, e pluribus unum.
Preston,
Yeah.
Vacature's all I ever wanted.
Vacators have to get away, man. So the vacator rule meant to go in effect on actually this week would have covered all forms of negative option marketing programs that allow sellers to interpret customer inaction as accepted.
You're all in the head. For 10 hours.
Hold on. What are we doing?
It wasn't supposed to be that.
Okay, so anyhow, I wasn't done yet.
I know.
Programs that allow sellers to interpret customers' inaction as acceptance of subscriptions. Often leading to unintended charges. The FTC's original 1973 rule only covered limited forms of these practices. So I was bummed out to see that. It really should be incredibly easy to cancel your subscription.
Hopefully they revisit.
Yeah. So it would have stopped businesses from forcing customers through lengthy chat sessions with agents or creating other barriers to cancellation, but we missed it.
So am I the only one in the room that regularly cancels stuff? Because I do it all the time. I go through it monthly, and if I find that I'm not using something, for example, Netflix, like I don't currently have Netflix, and it's so easy to sign back up again.
To be honest,
whenever you want, like I go through these things and I get rid of them if I'm not using them.
I wish I had a percentage of your drive to do that. I don't, but I will 2 to 3 times a year go through something that. For example, I was telling Preston, like if I'm learning about AI and stuff like that, I'll subscribe to a whole bunch of different things to see what I like and production software to compare them, and then I will shear off the ones I'm not using.
Okay.
So I'll do a purge 2 to 3 times a year.
Gotcha.
But you're kind of rolling month to month, which is probably a good way to do it.
I know you guys don't do the bills every month, and I do, but
What are bills?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my jobs in the household, which is fine, and I know you got your wives take care of that kind of stuff for you. But to me, like when I check those monthly bills, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just not using this anymore.
Yeah.
To me, it's not worth paying, and so I flat out cancel the stuff. And again, if there's something that shows up on Netflix or whatever, and when I come back to it, it really is unbelievably easy to re-sign up, so I just do it then.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyhow, maybe they'll recreate something down the road, make it a little easier. All right. So the world's best award winners have been announced. Travel and Leisure announced winners of their 2025 World's Best Awards. They highlighted the top travel destinations, hotels, airlines, and cities around the world and here in the U.S. based on annual reader surveys.
I swear to God, I thought this was the world's best awards, like the Nobel Peace Prize.
That's the best award. So they have awards for awards.
For awards.
Yeah.
I say that's redundant.
No, a new city has claimed the title of best U.S. city for the first time in 12 years, and it is Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Oh.
That's number 1.
Santa Fe. You guys don't know Newsies all that well?
I don't. Even though I would have jumped right in.
I'm wearing my Newsies shirt.
Not ringing a bell?
No.
In Rent, let's open up a restaurant in Santa Fe.
Ooh.
I know that one.
Do you know the way to Santa Fe? Actually, it's San Jose.
Oh, you're right.
It works.
It does.
It still works.
I sang along.
Yeah, me too.
How about please come to San Jose for
Well, this is Santa Fe.
I know.
Is that San Jose? Please come.
No.
What? Boston.
Boston.
Let's get back to the story.
So anyhow,
Yes.
Santa Fe, New Mexico lands at number 1. Mount Desert Island, Maine.
Mount Desert Island, Maine.
Oh, yeah, I've been there. It's
Acadia, right?
Reclaims the title of Best U.S. Island, which it previously held in 2010.
Have we all been there?
I've been to Acadia, but I don't remember going to Mount Desert Island. It may not have been open while I was there. Because we were there in the quote-unquote mud season, and
big-ass island.
the majority of the park was closed.
It is the park, Preston. So you cross over a small bridge from the mainland, and most of Acadia is an island. So where Bar Harbor is, that's Mount Desert Island.
Gorgeous.
Then,
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it is a really cool place. So the top 10 best U.S. cities, by the way, Santa Fe, number 1, then New Orleans, number 2. 3 is Charleston, followed by Savannah, Alexandria, Virginia.
I used to live there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
It's one of the best places in the world.
I rode my bike to work. King Street in Old Town I worked at this place called Murphy's Irish Tavern. It was a great place to live and a really great place to work.
That's where Newsies takes place.
That is, yes. You remember the song?
Well, I mean, actually, it takes place in New York.
Okay. Honolulu, Hawaii is number 6. Greenville, South Carolina. So I used to live about an hour from Greenville.
What's that like?
In Greenwood, South Carolina. Back then, I don't know, man. I was a little kid. I don't remember much about it. But I had a friend who lived there and said it was nice.
It's quaint. It's really nice.
Number 8 is New York City, New York. Number 9 is Asheville, North Carolina. Been there a few times. And number 10 is Chicago, Illinois. So Chicago.
So we make the stress list.
Is at number 10. Yeah, we get the stress list.
We don't make the nice place to visit list.
No. Hey, guys, we got walkable city. Most walkable city.
Yes, number 1.
We did get that.
All right, okay.
Good point.
Yeah.
The top 5 world best cities of 2025. Number 1 is San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. Followed by Chiang Mai, Thailand, Tokyo, Japan, Bangkok, Thailand, and Jaipur, India. In fact, I was reading about San Miguel de Allende this morning because I saw an article that expanded on this. It's a small town in Mexico, but it's got a lot of history. And there are some there's some historic buildings that are there, historic churches and things along those lines, but apparently it's supposed to be stunning.
Hey, they got a Wendy's there?
Yeah.
That I don't know.
I'm surprised that there is a city in India in the top 5. I just.
Well, it's not Calcutta, but
I know, but it just seems like such an overpopulated country.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about it. You know
Why?
what I mean?
Jaipur, India is number 5.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So you're surprised?
I'm surprised
to see that?
yeah.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, there's lots of space in that country, so
I guess
not everything is all, because a lot of times we see congested, really overrun areas.
Exactly.
Please come to Jaipur for. Oh, that's not it either.
So if you're planning your summer vacation,
India.
Oh, wait a minute. Here are the world's best winners of the 2025 World's Best Awards include. World's Best Hotel is the Beyond Batular Camp in Kenya. World's Best Hotel brand is Capella Hotels and Resorts. World's Best Island is Paris, Greece. World's Best U.S. Island, as I said, Mount Desert Island, Maine. World's Best U.S. National Park. How can it be the world's best U.S.
That's insanely
national
stupid
park?
as a category.
But that's Yellowstone. World's Best Rental Car Company.
All right, let's hear it.
Or car rental company. National. I'm a national rewards member.
They're the same company as Enterprise, I think, right? The same corporate umbrella. Because you can go to Enterprise desk and sometimes get a national car.
Okay. I believe that.
We're actually Enterprise.
World's Best International Airline, Singapore Airlines.
Oh, they've got those rocking first class, suites.
Pods.
Yeah.
World's Best Domestic Airline is JSX, which I'm not familiar with.
You know what? I'm surprised. I think Marriott gets short shrift as a.
I don't think
as a reliable, great hotel chain.
I pretty much exclusively stay in Marriott hotels. In fact, I'm planning a trip to Chicago very soon. My son and we will be staying at a Marriott resort or a Marriott hotel. All right, let me go back into the junk drawer. Speaking of Chicago, Michael Jordan hasn't lived in his former Highland Park, Illinois home for over a decade, but fans will have the opportunity to live like Mike did during his Bulls days. but it won't be cheap. The 7-bed, 17.5-bath home was renovated in 2009 before Jordan ultimately listed the home in 2012 for $29 million. It then sat on the market for 12 years with very little buyer interest given the specific to Michael Jordan design and secluded suburban Illinois location. That was until real estate investor John Cooper purchased the home for $9.5 million. It was going for $29 million. He sold it for $9.5.
This has been sort of the real estate boondoggle for a while.
So now this guy is listing it on Airbnb.
No kidding.
So is this the one that has the putting green that is surrounded by like a moat in
It's
the
an
back?
island.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep, it is.
I mean, listen, I don't know what that guy's mortgage is, but like how many times you need to rent it a month in order to just pay the mortgage?
I'll give you the prices.
Oh, good.
And a listing that doesn't have any reviews yet. Cooper's allowing guests to stay at the home for roughly one night.
Yeah.
$15,000.
$15,000. Now, the problem also is that the toilets are 11 feet off the floor.
Guests would be required to sign a liability waiver, NDA, and post a $25,000 security deposit. Pets and parties are not allowed, and the 7.39-acre property cannot exceed 12 guests.
See, when we were first looking at homes to buy, when we first got married, we went through this house. It was in Havertown, in the Westbrook Park, Westgate Hills section.
Right.
And when we're walking through this house, I felt like a little child in like Fantasyland because the people that lived there were so tall, right?
Yeah.
I think they were like, the dad was like 6'8", the mom was like 6 foot. Like the kitchen counters were like up to my chest. I had to like climb onto the bed.
Can I have a cookie?
Dude, I was like, I can't. Because I literally have to shrink everything down here. Like,
Right.
There was too much work to be
So
done.
my friend Jeff lives in a house that was owned previously, and I think it was built for someone who was disabled. And it's great because the doors are very wide.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And it has all these things that are just space-wise, I think that all homes should have.
They do have cool things like I've seen them when they'll build like tunnels to towers, or they'll build a home for a veteran, or and those amenities. I've thought the same thing. I'm like, listen, I'm so glad they had that. But
Absolutely.
you could probably sell that to
I think
homeowner.
I think wider doors and things like that, because if you're moving stuff in and out, it makes it easier just getting around. I think it's a wave of the future.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think it should be.
Like the bedroom.
Yeah, I had to. I basically just ruined a door jamb just trying to get a couch in and out of the one room because it just was too narrow.
I remember you telling me about that.
Pivot!
Pivot! The home is also available for long-term rentals on Zillow. If you want to rent it for a month, it's $89,000. It was recently marked down, though, from $150,000 a month.
To be honest, I don't think it's that nice. How it doesn't. I mean, it has the legend behind it, but I wouldn't call it extraordinarily gorgeous or the grounds beautiful. It's okay.
We're looking at interior of it. I mean, it's unique for sure.
Yeah.
And it's big, obviously. So
How much a month?
an $89,000.
You gonna do it?
I'm thinking about it, guys.
Okay, you think about that. All right, we're gonna go in. Yeah.
Well, listen, I made reference to something earlier that you guys didn't understand, so I figure I might be able to help you understand said reference in the future if I just do it in song. So
Here we go.
Forget me.
From Newsies.
Wait a minute, you were lip syncing that for the camera.
yeah, I know, but it's not part of the song that I actually remember. Just
Because he stopped.
Yeah.
He just did Santa Fe, and then he stopped
it was
singing the
supposed
words.
to go "My Old Friend," but that wasn't. That was a different verse.
All right, try it again. Hang on, here we go. That's for our YouTube audience. All right, let me go back in the junk drawer. All right, this is cool. This week, Philadelphia debuts a new park along the Delaware River, a 10-acre green space featuring a broad open lawn, upland trails, native meadow, modern restrooms, parking, and hundreds of freshly planted trees and shrubs.
What's up, land?
From a once fenced-off and polluted industrial site, the lawn now opens to sweeping views of the river, reclaiming the shoreline for the community use.
I love when they are able to do this, take an area that was really not usable and reclaim it and turn it into park area. And where it is actually a good location.
That's why I can't wait until this cap thing is done. That'll be so cool.
Yeah.
All right, so Casey, the park it's just north of the Betsy Ross Bridge. So it's on Orthodox Street. It's named after former U.S. Representative Robert Borski, who is 76 years old. He's a native of Bridesburg who served in Congress from 1983 to 2003, and he began discussing turning the blighted property into a park 20 years ago. So now his
dream has come true.
Coming true. A full effort began 10 years ago with help from the city and a nonprofit called Riverfront North Partnership. He founded that partnership in 2004, and he said it's overwhelming. As he was taking a tour of the park, he said, this is a hidden gem, and I hope you'll all agree. The park overlooks the river just north of Betsy Ross Bridge, a separate higher lookout as a bench with views facing an old pier, as well as Palmyra Cove Nature Park, half a mile across the river in New Jersey. The ground for the park was originally acquired by the Philadelphia Industrial Development Corp., a nonprofit formed by the city and the Chamber of Commerce of Greater Philadelphia as an economic development corporation. So before Philadelphia reclaimed this site, its most recent commercial owner used it as a concrete dump. And the dumping created what they called a lava mountain along the shoreline.
That sounds kind of cool. I mean, a lava mountain.
Go play in the lava mountain, Steve.
Go to the lava mountain today.
And this week marks the completion of the first phase of the park, which cost $7.1 million. And that included environmental work, earth moving, planting trees, creating the meadow, installing the half-mile trail, and building a bathroom as well.
So my wife and I have donated a few things, to various animal charities. There's a little plaque, it's very nice. It's not necessary. But I love the idea of, donating a bench in a park.
Yeah.
Something that people can really enjoy or use.
My dad's done that, Steve, and he also has done trees. You can donate trees, and they plant them for the anniversary of the town or whatever, and you get a little plaque and a bench that people can sit on, or a tree that they can sit under. It's nice.
Most of those I see are memorials.
Yeah,
in name of someone died. Did your dad do that, or did he?
No,
just...
he did it while he was alive, and it's just
I didn't for someone.
He killed someone.
He's still alive.
He killed someone.
Right.
The least I could do is build them a bench.
What's this guy's name?
Yeah. He killed a lot of guys.
I killed this guy in my car.
He did hang out with Charles Manson.
He did.
Yeah. You should have a park bench, man. I'll keep you in park benches for the next 20 years.
My brothers and I were talking about that story the other day, and the fact that my dad not hid, but just didn't tell us about hanging out with the Manson family. Yeah. I mean, what?
Was Charles there?
No.
Okay.
But it was at the
Where's McElwain?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Spawn movie ranch.
Yeah, the ranch. And so my dad was hitchhiking down the coast of California and ended up staying there. And a bunch of the people that were in that movie were at the place where my dad was at the time.
Did he talk about Squeaky or Susan Atkins or any of those people?
And he was
Tex Watson.
He's so what movie was happening? Who's the woman who was killed? The actress Sharon Tate. And she was in a Polanski movie.
There were a couple.
They were a couple. Okay, yeah. So my dad was a big Polanski fan, and so there were all of these connections that made sense to my dad's life. And we would talk about Polanski movies or Sharon Tate or Charles Manson. The fact that he stayed at the camp at the ranch never came up in any stories ever.
I like you, man.
Yeah.
I can talk to you.
You got a big head.
You got a big head.
I think I get the big head on the other side.
One thing is, and I'll tell you, I told this all the way for a bitch that used raisins in her meatballs.
All right, well, let me go back into the junk drawer, dig something out here for you. All right, a new study out of The Ohio State University says that 9% of workers in their 30s are using alcohol or drugs on the job.
What?
The study's lead author, San O, says that it's mainly true in blue-collar or heavy mechanical jobs because those workers often have limited access to support to address substance use. Specifically, the study found the jobs with the highest risk of having workers drinking or drugging on the job are in the food preparation/service industry and in safety-sensitive occupations, including construction.
Did you ever have a job where you would have, obviously our job here, we joke about how we actually have alcohol in the studio right now, but not that we're imbibing. But did you ever have a job where it was kind of your thing to crack open a beer or whatever?
This job.
I have done it here.
Yeah.
I mean, not here at WMMR, but in my radio career, there was one time I did. I was called in for overnights, and I'm like, I'm bringing a 12-pack of beer to work.
Is that a good idea?
No, it was not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. And so that was sneaking it. I did that once, and I learned my lesson. That's a stupid idea. Now, when we would, like those first few years we were at Keenan's and whatnot.
Yes. That's a different
8 a.m.
animal.
I started
It's a different
cracking a
animal.
beer, and I was bombed by the end of the show.
I think it was like 9.
I don't know,
So
man.
I remember people getting lit up. It was part, but it's part of the vibe.
Yeah.
No, but a friend of mine worked literally in one of those booths, the security booths. As you're pulling in and out of a park or an industrial park.
Yeah,
he would get rip-roaring drunk.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we would do appearances for beers and all that stuff. So I consider that not this part of the job, but like that other part of the job, the nighttime part of the job.
Right, yeah.
You know, sort of encourage that. I always like the idea of like you were talking about like construction workers, like at the end of the day.
Yes.
You know, like hey, we got
the guys.
We got the cooler. We're gonna just kind of chill here for a couple hours.
I've had that in landscaping jobs, like literally, Casey, the cooler with the ice in it and the cold beers. It's like Shawshank on the roof. Like it was a reward at the end of the day, and it was a bonding thing. I loved it.
But the job was done at that point.
Job was done.
Okay, because we did that as well. My first job, I was a dishwasher at a restaurant, and when we would close, and I was 16, mind you.
Oh, there you go.
The manager would grab a bunch of beer from the bar, and we go out in the back of the restaurant
But on
and get
the
hammered.
during the work.
Yeah,
it's
it's a different story.
Yeah.
Marissa?
Every Friday here at MMR at 4:20, there was like a happy hour. It was when Raz was doing afternoons, and they would literally walk around the hallways and say like, "Who's here? Come to the studio because we need to make a party in the studio."
Yeah, that was fun. I was here when that happened.
Yeah.
And
It was years, right?
So that was technically after work for me because I was working for Pierre. But yeah, there was like a happy hour in Raz's studio.
And
Was that
Nick,
booze or weed? Because it was 4:20.
Well, for us, it was booze. Yeah.
Okay.
Narcotics.
I think it was sponsored by a booze, so it was booze.
Oh,
Brent Porsche needs to
Yes.
bring that back then.
So by the way, that is they would do that in New York as well. A couple of WBAB, Jerry Martier would do it in Afternoon Drive.
Yeah.
Where you come in and you have the sounds of beers opening up and so on and so forth. There was a happy hour broadcast. So
Here's a text from somebody that says, everybody I work with vapes weed all day. It's becoming the new cigarettes.
Wow.
So I could see that because it's so easy to do it.
Listen, I had a friend, and he's no longer with us, but he worked construction. I think he smoked a quarter every single day.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rhetorical question, but like, is microdosing? Like, does that count being high
Yes,
all
I think
day?
it does.
Yeah,
I think
you're
it
like,
does.
You're
yeah.
tripping balls. Yes.
I have not friends. I know people that like microdose mushrooms every day.
Really?
I thought the microdosing is not like you're not really flying.
No, you're getting high.
Okay.
I think it's more. Look, you probably
getting high.
legally you are considered high, but I think it's putting you on a different level that isn't. It's more about like a mood stimulator.
You're still functional.
Carlos
functional.
Castaneda.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Your Vision Quest.
Anyway, 9% of workers in their 30s are using alcohol or drugs on a job. That's a lot of people. That's a whole lot of people.
first time I had an appletini.
All right, I know I want to get to one more story at least. All right, so we've heard of the lookalike contest.
Yes.
Marissa actually sent me this story. There's one coming up next Friday, July 18th. It will be at Fringe Bar and Pump House Pizza, and they are looking for a lookalike for Nick Castellanos.
I bet you they can score a lot of lookalikes.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I think we have a guy here that could perhaps do that. Rich DiNapoli. I think could. No? What do you think? One of our engineers, IT guys?
A little bit.
Maybe.
If he put on a if he dressed like Castellanos,
Yeah.
he could do it at a Halloween party.
So it's going to be this Friday from 5 or not this Friday, I'm sorry, the 18th from 5 to 8 p.m. They will transform into a haven for diehard Philly fans, according to the press release. The bar is located directly under the Ben Franklin Bridge, by the way.
He is the best looking Philly, right? Nick Castellanos, hands
He's a good-looking
down.
guy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there are a lot of good looking Phillies, but that dude is handsome.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
No,
Break me off.
Him and Howie Long, right?
Howie Long's really good looking, don't you think?
You're not going to get an
what you just
argument.
did.
Yeah. Who's that dude who's the. Marissa, I was asking you, this guy is a football player. He's, I think he was at Notre Dame. And now
Oh yeah, Sam something. Not Sam Darnold. His first name is Sam. Yeah,
this dude is beard, crazy good looking.
Yeah.
But he's a massive heartthrob.
massive heartthrob. Yeah.
Overall, this is a pretty damn good-looking Phillies team. I think there's like somebody for everyone on this
Okay.
one.
I can see that. So they have seating in the beer garden. It's first come, first served. And if you are look like, or you know someone who is the same way or should do this, you can sign up to compete at the event.
It's sort of depressing, though, when you don't win. I showed up for the Sandy Duncan lookalike contest years ago.
Sure.
I was thinking about this morning as I was reading this story, Steve. I was thinking that either we do a Steve Morrison lookalike contest,
right,
or a night of bald men, like a bunch of
Bald bash.
Yeah, some kind of bald event.
Well, we also wanted to do the night of quite a few.
When nobody reached out. Yeah, we wanted to do other people named Preston, the night of quite a few Prestons. But like not one single Preston reached out.
I'll tell you what. So I do get the bald thing a lot, but I have seen my fair share of pictures sent to me of people that look like you.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot as
There
well.
have been a couple, and a lot of times that somebody's out somewhere and they saw someone and they took a picture of them and they sent it over. Like, were you in Georgia or whatever?
When me and Marissa and Nick were up at Camelback, there was a guy that looked like you, and I took his picture. I sent it to you guys.
Yep, and I was like, that's pretty damn close. It is weird to see someone that looks like you.
Yeah,
have you guys ever done that? You ever seen it? It's odd.
I remember. There was, it might have been Highlights magazine, but it was a magazine that we would get in school, and it was about 6th or 7th grade, and we got a picture, and the kid stepping out of the school bus was a dead goddamn ringer for me. Okay. I mean, and I'm looking, and I remember it was like very off-putting.
Here's what I really want to know. Someone who looks like me.
Right.
I want to find out if they are as insecure about their looks as I am.
Yeah,
or
are they working it like a...
Or they, maybe they have a completely different attitude.
Sure,
maybe I'm way off base, or they're way off base, or I don't know.
Who's the delusional one?
There's little tweaks, right? So you can go in one direction, which is a slightly more handsome, or one direction which is slightly not as good looking, and like, so you don't. If they look like you, they can look like you in a better way or a worse way. You know what I mean?
The you want to meet is the you that was they threw in the box because it didn't quite come out right.
There was a guy, Steve, at Bucknell, where I went to college, and he looked a lot like me. And I'm not the handsomest guy on the planet, but this guy was not good looking, and so my friends called him Ugly Nick. And it was just, I was just
you
like,
always want to be the good looking.
I was the better looking version. Also, there was a guy in our fraternity whose name was Lowell, and then there's this poor kid who was younger than us who joined the fraternity, and he was a bigger guy than Lowell was, so we called him Fat Lowell.
Listen, it's how you make the distinction.
Yeah,
that's how we have Casey Boy.
Also, we were a-holes in our 20s. So.
Fat Lowell.
Fat Lowell. That poor kid.
Yeah, but nothing beats Big Nose.
That's a great one.
That's a great name for sure. All right, and then I want to do one more because this is a timely one. All right, nearly 20 years after airline passengers were first required to remove their shoes for security, the policy is being phased out.
Yeah.
The TSA is planning to allow passengers to keep their shoes on when they go through the general security line at many major airports across the country. An unexpected memo went out to the TSA officers across the country last week stating the new policy will allow passengers to keep their shoes on in all screening lanes at many airports across the country starting this past Sunday. So it's apparently initiated already this week, I believe.
So that's the thing that I believe in, most people would say probably, is one aspect that leads to a backup at the security check. Now, you guys have, do all of you have the
pre-check
global
and global entry? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But still, so that is a benefit. But, not having to do that, I'm down with.
Yeah, previously only passengers in pre-check or global entry were allowed to keep their shoes on in most cases. The TSA has spent years looking for an innovative way to allow them to move faster, passengers through the security checkpoints, and passengers who have triggered the alarm at the scanners or magnometers, however, will be required to take their shoes off for additional screening.
So, when I haven't had to do it the most is when I go through when they have the dog. When you walk, when you do that walk and the dog is, the security dog is walked along with you. and then you don't have to go through that process.
That one, and the lines move quicker.
Yes, they do.
definitely do. By the way, did I already
And you
tell
get
you
to see
guys
a dog.
the story that if you're sweating too much in your underwear, I had that story, right?
and
That it can set off one of those machines.
yeah.
So the arms raised scan, it'll show something in your crotchal region.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It is weird how it's different from airport to airport too. Like there's not always consistency from city to city, from airport to airport. Like Denver, Steve, I've had that dog interaction several times, and it's also one line usually getting through Denver. But I like that system, and it seems like it goes faster.
Well, where it happened really was when I remember going down for spring training.
Sure.
I had to take all the stuff out of the bag and this and that, and my laptop, and nothing coming back. Or maybe they made us do it coming back. But on one side of the trip, it was like everything out.
When we were coming back from Orlando, actually.
Did they make you do it?
Well, they had the dog, and they, the dog just walked by big groups of people,
right,
and nothing in Orlando. So
Orlando.
Is that like Santa Fe?
It's a lot like Santa Fe.
But very different from Chicago.
Yeah, way different from Chicago.
Chicago.
All right. I think we should wrap up the junk drawer. Don't hit the music yet.
Right.
There is one more story I wanted to get to. We don't have time. I just want to tease it because we'll get to it another time. It's the history of the ball peen hammer. We'll get to that another time.
One of my favorite hammers.
Right, let's wrap up the junk drawer.
That was the junk drawer. Preston's closing up his junk drawer. There's nothing left here in the junk drawer. Until next time, that was the junk drawer.
Thank you, Kyle Mack, by the way, for that jingle. We'll always love it. It's time to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll share some bizarre file stories with you. Later on this morning, our friend Jason Myrtetus from The Fanatics is going to be stopping in. Some stuff to tell you about. We'll be back shortly, so you stay with us, please.
Preston and Steve.
I don't go to Golden Corral for steak. I go to Fogo. Hello. And I'm telling you, really, over a steak, I don't know.
Well, there's no rhyme or reason, but if you're gonna brawl, the fact that it happens at a Golden Corral, which I always would consider a senior citizen afternoon dinner at 2:15 kind of place, and you're having a full blown Hell's Angels type Altamont rally.
I remember one of the last big, huge brawls here that I remember seeing was at a wedding at the Sheraton in Old City.
Somebody died, I think.
Did they?
That one? I didn't remember that. I remember there was something. What happened, Preston, is that the people who were covering it video-wise were up on a balcony.
Yeah, you had a
and they
good
were
view.
catching the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've seen a brawl. Actually, I have seen a brawl take place at a wedding, and it was. Thank God I had no connection to the people. My girlfriend at the time did. And it was the classic case where they get the guy out and he's putting the garter up on the thigh, and the actual groom thought it was a little bit too much.
Oh.
And so they got in and threw down and out on the dance floor. Now, it wasn't 50 people fighting over a steak, but it's like 10, 15, 20 people going at it.
Yeah.
And I was loving it.
Yeah, I've only seen those at bars, at nightclubs. Usually it was a dance club where people are bouncing around on the dance floor.
Sure,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, and then all of a sudden somebody gets into somebody's space or whatever happens, and
that's it.
And then there's a brawl, and then and Casey, you were your friend pulled you out of there. The security teams, the bouncers, a lot of times don't have much discretion in who they're going to toss out because they don't know what happened. They just got to get in there and start yanking people out.
You just have to.
And a couple can get a little overzealous, and it can turn real ugly real quick.
Pain don't hurt.
I thought it'd be bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. at the Golden Corral.
Yeah, there's a place in Ridley. It had changed so many different names. At one point, it was a Brownies. It was a Wade's Irish Pub. I watched a couple of things happen there. I watched this chick just hurl a bottle into a group of. She had no idea who she was throwing or who she was going to hit or anything.
But you would expect bouncers and people to be there.
Yeah.
A Golden Corral wouldn't.
Honestly, yeah.
Wouldn't have a bouncer.
No, you have a hostess.
Yeah.
Or a host.
Hey, if there's a brawl, we need you to handle the situation.
Some 17-year-old girl.
De-escalate.
Braces.
Could you put that table down?
Well, as a comedian was on last week with us, he was saying it's not the Silver Corral, it's the Golden Corral.
Right. Wow. Well, this video footage is just crazy, man. I mean, it's scary. people picking up chairs and hurling them across a room.
Yeah, I've been in fights, but I've never been, in the middle of a brawl like that, and I don't know how I would react. Again, the notion that you're not getting your steak in time doesn't seem to be a real reason to throw down.
On a different note, and we'll take the calls as they're coming in if you guys want to comment on this, but it does have to do with the restaurant and a bit of a scene that took place. And I wanted to make sure that I mentioned this. Casey actually sent this story to us over the weekend, and I forgot to mention it yesterday. But our friend John Dornbos,
yes, oh my God, yeah,
played a real life hero over the weekend. He and his wife Annalise were at a restaurant, and they were actually next door to a different restaurant where the owner of a Huntington Beach restaurant caught on fire because she got too close to a space heater and her clothes caught on fire. Dornbos jumped into action and may have saved this woman's life. According to eyewitnesses on the scene, his quick thinking and action was exactly what needed to happen. Her name was Anna Nakayo, the co-owner of Veggielicious, and the victim of the fire has undergone 2 surgeries, according to her husband, Akira, after suffering 2nd and 3rd degree burns. Jeez. It could have been much worse if not for Dornbos's help. He said, the news interviewed him, he said, I grabbed my wife's blanket and I got her to the ground, meaning the woman who was on fire, and was just like, hey, help me out. I got you. You're going to be alive. It's okay. And I remember her looking at me, and I just said, honey, it's okay. You're alive. And we did it. So he smothered the flames with the blanket, and she was engulfed.
Yeah.
I mean,
good Lord.
Like, she may have difficulty walking after this.
Yeah, I actually had a nice correspondence with John about this, just saying, man, I'm so proud of you. Like, and I said, it's crazy to think that, like, all of your life's experiences and everything brought you to that point in time, into that moment, in that situation with a blanket to save that woman's life. Like, it's just insane.
Just how things played out.
Yeah.
How fate. Yeah, an unbelievable thing. But he was, talk about a guy, his own story is amazing. He steps in and saves this woman's life.
It's fantastic. So he said, one of the things I'm most thankful for about playing in the NFL, I played for 14 years, was just this idea of under pressure, being able to calm down and think.
Yeah.
And he handled it, saved this woman's life. So very proud of John. Always have been.
Man.
So that's just another thing, another wonderful thing that he's done. So good for him. And
we should get him on and have him do magic for us.
Yeah, we should, right?
Celebrate.
Wow, man. All right, going back to the Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
I want to go to Chris, who's got a comment on this. Hey, Chris, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you guys doing today?
Good. What's up, my man?
So I've never been to the Ben Salem one, but I go to the one up in Lehigh County, and I know how this fight started.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Just like Lehigh County, there's a big line that starts, but the grill's only so big. So you walk up to the grill, the chef, and you tell him how you want it, medium. He's like, all right, here you go. The next guy might want it well done, and that's where everything starts. He wants it well done. He's like, I don't have any well done. Come back, I'll remember you. Like, okay. So you sit down, you come back 5 minutes later. Those people don't know who you are. They all just think you just cut the line.
Okay.
So this is obviously.
But I got it for you. First off, it's against the law to have a steak well done. I mean,
I agree. I'm with you, Chris.
I'm a medium rare guy, so mine's always done when I get up there. And they do have very good steaks, Steve. Very good steak.
Do they? All right. So my question would be: is this why? So why don't you place your order? They give you a number like they do in other places.
Yeah.
You put the number on your table, and they bring you your steak.
Well, Steve, sometimes people lack that thing called intelligence. But they do have other good food there, too. You can go up there and get your steak, and then go up there and get spaghetti and meatballs while you're waiting for it or whatever. Like you said, take a number, get like a digital system going.
Yeah.
Right.
But to have them in line, Chris, and have you waiting or having you not understanding the timing situation, that's like, that's a powder keg.
It is. It can be ridiculous. And then, the grill's only so big, so you might have 100 people in line, but you can only fit 20 steaks on there.
All right.
So when all the 20 steaks are up, and then and then the guy orders well done, and
he kills it.
That's how World War I started.
All right. Thanks, Chris. We appreciate the perspective, man. Thank you.
He does make a good point.
And by the way, I had a scenario not that long ago where it was a stand-in-line type of thing. I think we're at the premium outlets. And had ordered something. They weren't ready. It was like an Asian buffet, and they didn't have enough egg rolls done. So I ordered those. Like, okay, we need to make them come back in a second. And I had to do that thing where I had to walk back up and get in front of people at the register. And, they think I'm cutting in line, and I'm actually just going up to get what I had ordered previously. I hate that. It's just a moment of uncomfortableness.
It's like the walk of shame almost.
I hate it.
You should be holding your shoes, Preston, with smeared lipstick on your face.
Right. You're right.
Yeah. And what they should do is have a secondary line that is for people who've already placed their orders and are coming back to pick that up. Just a little bit of tinkering around could have avoided this brawl.
Here's an interesting text. It says, hey, guys, I'm a wedding photographer, and there was a brawl at a wedding. And at the end of the night, the Philly cops needed to go through my camera to find out who the culprits were.
Oh, that's
because
great.
they all fought and then ran, and they were family. So I guess nobody was giving anybody up.
Right.
It's about family.
And I don't know how that ended up resolving itself, but they had to use that as evidence to track people down.
I love those places where there'd be no way that you'd imagine there'd be something like a brawl or a physical fight, and you get one.
Hey, let's go to Lou. Good morning, Lou.
Oh, Lou!
Yay!
All right.
Lou! How you doing, bud?
Doing better, President. How you guys doing?
Good. Lou had a touch of the Rona.
Oh, did you? Okay,
I had
good.
The coronavirus.
Yeah, you're doing better though, right?
Right. Plus, I got busted ribs, which is always fun. I took a fall at the Poconos, so I'm still...
Man,
Poor
Lou.
thing. All right, well, listen.
It's been a crazy month.
But you're doing better. You wanted to tell us this story?
Yeah. So one time I was working out in California. I had a Jack in a Box, and a buddy of mine was working the drive-through. And four guys from San Jose State football team was in the drive-through, and they were busting the kids. They were busting them up, picking on them.
Right.
So when he handed them the food, they threw a shake at him, and the kid said something, and they thought that it was just him. They didn't know that his brothers, me, and a buddy of ours, this big Samoan, was sitting in the other room. So we emptied out into the joint. They came driving around thinking they're going to fight him, and when we emptied out, one kid walked around the end of the car. I opened his face right up with a left hook.
Oh, my God. All right. Right up.
A Jack in the Box
It
brawl.
was a brawl.
You know what? In a way, Lou, you were like an actual Jack in the Box. The door opens up. Boom. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Wow.
That's
WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Marissa. Before we officially welcome in our Friday with our Froggy song, I actually got a magazine that was sent to me, Rivet magazine, and it was sent to me by James Land, the founder and CEO. And in this, he has featured Froggy.
Oh, that's great.
So there's several pages, pictures of them playing, and it's in honor of the band's birthday.
So we're assuming Rivet is a music magazine, correct?
It is, and I think it. And I'll be honest, and I apologize, I didn't get a chance to dive too deep into it, but it says we're a community, we're local, we support Philadelphia. And I don't know if it's mainly, punk rock or what all type of music they dive into, but I thought that was, oh wait, here's more notes that he put in here that I didn't see. No, that's just a blank, it's a blank piece of paper. But
Don't forget to not read this.
Wanted me to see this stuff, but
that's cool.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool. And the first thing I saw when I opened up are all these pictures of the band, of Froggy. So I thought that was neat.
It's exciting. Right? Listen, it's exciting to see that in the magazines. Remember the article appeared about us in Straight Stuntin'?
Yeah, man, it was a special moment. Yeah. So I thought this was cool for Morgan and Brooke and Fiona. So wanted to mention that.
They have a gig coming up. It's next week. It's at Milk Boy Philly, which is one of our favorite places. It's on 7/15, which is Tuesday night. So if you want to follow them on Instagram, it's Froggy the Band. And 7/15, they're at Milk Boy. And then they have a show on August 2nd in Wilmington. And then at the end of August up in Milford, Connecticut. So give them a follow and go see their shows.
And you should also tune in to our YouTube account while we play the Froggy song, because this thing happened automatically. Our YouTube community embraces the band and loves this song, and so they do something special when we play this. So if you want to jump on right now, just go to YouTube, Preston and Steve, and the live stream that we do every day, and you will see it. But now let's make it no sad, bro. Here we go. Sorry about that.
Presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Man, it sounded all big and cool, and then I turned it down.
It's a damn system.
All right. No, it was me.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I think.
All right, so the Bizarre File brought to you by Casey's Team WMMR Rock and Rollers. The Bend to Shore bike tour is coming up on July 20th, benefiting the families behind the badge. Children's Foundation. You can visit PrestonandSteve.com and you can get more information. This is a crazy story. A man climbed from his own grave after he was shot in the head and later walked to a gas station. The Australian man had been targeted by, that was him when he walked into the gas station, that's all he said. No, he had been targeted by they called a contract crew of hitmen.
Wow.
Who are also believed to be responsible for 2 other deadly attacks within a week. Video footage shows the would-be murder victim, 23 years old, covered in the dirt from his own grave, walking into a gas station.
Jeez.
He arrived with a bullet lodged in his brain, but begged the staff not to call emergency services. An employee who came to the man's aid said that he had severe facial injuries, including his eye socket. The unnamed worker said he came in, asked for a taxi, and I said, "Are you sure you don't want an ambulance?" But he said, "No, please, no ambulance." Footage captures the man slumped over before he was taken to the hospital against his wishes, where the bullet was removed from his brain. Joe DeHuey said that it was a miracle the man survived. He's the detective on the case. I said he was buried in a shallow grave, unbeknownst to the offenders who believed he was deceased. The male crawled out of the grave.
It's like out of Kill Bill.
They said he had been lured over state borders by the gang, not knowing what their ulterior motive was. The day before the alleged shooting, a white Hyundai was captured on video. 4 male passengers, one believed to be the victim, were seen in the footage suggesting the man had been picked up.
Yeah, it's all right. I was just shot in the head.
They said we will allege this syndicate that's responsible for these 3 offenses are linked to a Victorian drug trafficking syndicate. And we believe that they are still within the country, so they're looking for him. Wow, that's messed up. All right, here's another story out of Australia. A man allegedly stole 53 right-footed shoes from a business in Queensland, baffling detectives who were trying to track him down. The unknown man was caught on video entering a shopping center. He can be seen walking to a number of bags holding shoes, which were placed on tables in the middle of a common area in the shopping center, and then opens up the bags of shoes. And he took 53 right-footed shoes only, not pairs.
Was he an amputee?
Before putting them in a suitcase and popping into his cart and leaving the center.
That's insane.
Yeah. The store, called Shoe Fashion,
I'll be back for the left shoes,
released a statement on Instagram calling out the alleged thief the day after, and the store asked the question on everyone's mind. They said, to the person who took off with a rather very unbalanced haul, were you aware that you were grabbing solos? The Post also said the company had caught the entire thing on video. Police have released the footage, and they're trying to identify the man. Detectives have not said why the man took the shoes.
Just look for the guy walking in circles.
I guess so. Listen to this. 7 elderly women who dined at an upstate New York bar together each received separate receipts with a label that referred to them as, quote, old bitches.
Oh, God. Why would you write that?
Yeah. Kira Denuzzo.
Did you old bitches enjoy your lunch?
Kira Denuzzo.
Oh, it was wonderful.
An 87-year-old grandmother said that she and her friends noticed the labels on the bills after they had lunch at Deacon Blues Restaurant in Watervillette, New York.
Oh, man.
Denuzzo had dined at the establishment before with no reported issues, but her most recent visit drew concerns. Denuzzo said that her party originally called in a reservation for 10 people, but on the day of the lunch party, 3 weren't able to attend. She said the group apologized to staff members for the no-shows. At the end of the meal, each of the 7 women requested separate checks. And it wasn't until they returned to the senior living community where they all lived that one of them noticed a label left on her bill that read, Table Old Bitches. The note was left on each woman's receipt.
Come on. I mean, that's insane that you would think that would not be discovered.
In a statement,
unless it was part of a promotion where you have bottomless margaritas for old bitches.
A statement to a Deacon Blues representative, in a statement, a Deacon Blues representative wrote, I assure you that the owners are currently on vacation and are genuinely mortified with the behavior of the staff. They are committed to ensuring that all guests feel respected and valued. When they return, appropriate actions will be taken to address these concerns.
You have to go out of your way to do each separate bill.
After Nunuzo left a review on the bar's Facebook page, one of the bar owners left an apology stating, "Please do not judge the entire restaurant based on one disrespectful person. Again, we apologize and are ashamed and assure you that this is not something we take lightly." A 46-year-old man has been arrested for allegedly using his cell phone to download child sexual abuse material. And listen, this guy's already clearly psycho, but he's a moron too. Jesse Lawrence Hale was booked into the Cache County Jail after staff at Logan Regional Hospital found his iPhone with a picture of a naked little girl on the screen. So staff had contacted police reporting a patient had left a cell phone at the facility. The phone had a pornographic photo, like I said, but it was on his lock screen, like on his
so that everyone
regular screen,
not buried inside in a photo app. It's on the display screen.
Yeah. So this guy,
actually, that's good. He's that stupid.
Jesse Hale on July 7th went to the police department asking about the phone. He told officers that the naked image had been sent to him. He acknowledged that he shouldn't have had the photo, but he hadn't deleted it. He reportedly tried to downplay his actions. He told officers that it would be, quote, nice to pay a fine or take a class instead of going to jail.
Listen, if we can work out something.
He said he wouldn't survive in jail. Police obtained a warrant and searched the phone, finding 19 additional abuse images. The images appeared to be screenshots showing the website that they had been accessed on. When police told Hale that he was going to be arrested, he reportedly admitted to doing something wrong, but asked police not to tell his mom. He said that he had a lot of family in the area and he didn't want them to know what he did.
What a mess.
Don't tell my mom.
Don't tell my mom.
She's
Listen,
gonna find out.
My phone went missing and I have a whole bunch of my favorite child pornography on it. Perhaps you could help me, officer.
He's currently being held without bail. We'll do one more story and then we'll wrap it up. In Pennsylvania, police are providing new details on a rear-end collision in Pleasant Gap that injured one driver and resulted in the other one being taken into custody. Police say Trista Lawson reportedly admitted to traveling 100 miles an hour when she crashed into the back of a pickup truck. Whoa. Investigators say the resulting collision sent the pickup truck crashing into the front of a local smoke shop while Lawson's Mazda sedan stopped in a nearby front yard. Police said that they questioned Lawson about her crash and she claimed that she was listening to the voice of God. They told her to do that. Authorities learned that Lawson also damaged other vehicles prior to the rear-end collision. And
drive into that smoke shop.
And anyone who may have witnessed the other incidents is asked to contact.
Okay, God.
Police. Yep. All right. That sounds kind of crazy to me.
Drive into the smoke. Did you hear me?
All right, and there you go.
This is not Bill West.
And that's what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, let's take a break, and in the commercial break, we'll chit-chat, and we'll see what we come up with next for you, but I guarantee you're going to like it. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
Yes. Was that the end of the brawl, or did everybody get out and start mixing it up?
Oh, no, everybody got started mixing it up. One of the guys went and got a jack out of the car, and he went after the Samoan. Well, the Samoan kid, he took the jack right to the forearm and started pounding this guy.
Oh my God!
He was a tough kid. He was a cook. I seen this kid drink a dozen and a half of raw eggs one time.
Drink a dozen and a half raw eggs?
All the loose all loose stories have like tangential stories.
Yeah,
you know
that alone would be a hell of a story. So the Samoan, you don't want to piss off the Samoan at Jack in the Box, but you guys, I assume, prevailed and were the victors, right?
Right.
All right, cool.
All right, Lou. Good to hear from you, man. Hang in there, bud. Lou?
Do we lose him?
Lou? Oh, there you go.
There we go.
All right, Lou. Take care, man. We'll see you later.
All right. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.
All right, see ya. Oh, my God. Wow. All right. Well, this one, this Golden Corral brawl, it made,
national.
It was viral. And how can you not be, stare at that like a deer in headlights? Because it's just, you're not used to seeing that type of thing at your Golden Corrals.
Golden Corral, Sizzler. What were the other?
Does Sizzler even exist anymore?
There was a Western Sizzlin', I remember.
Western Sizzlin', we talked about
a branch.
Haas's was the one that we went. Yeah, we went to the Haas's in college. That was like Central PA, probably elsewhere as well.
The whole thing was like $6. You go $6. You go. It's that cafeteria style.
Well, Old Country Buffet was one as well, but I don't think they had steak there.
No.
But I worked at a place I told you guys about. It was called York Steakhouse. That was kind of like that
Right.
type of thing where, you just stand in line, you get it, and take it to your table.
And then you head west across the country, and then you get Luby's, and you get Morrison's, and you get other cafes. Like that. Luby's, yeah.
Okay, is that like Lou B or Luby?
It was Lubys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Luby's. Like Ruby. Yeah. Who's All right. Well, anyhow, thank you for the stories, and keep it in mind. Be patient when people are ordering steak.
Don't order it well done. You get it sooner.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going to take a break. Don't forget, Tobias Harris is going to be on the show this morning. We're also going to have mountaineer Nims Persia on the program as well. Climbed the tallest peaks, all 14 of them in record time in the world. And our friends from Primo's are stopping by. In fact, Marissa is arranging the goodies right now, which means we'll have some goodies to give away for you as well. We'll take a break, and we'll come back in a moment. Oh, and it's National Chocolate Day.
What? Is it?
Yes, and I think we're going to commemorate that in a moment. I'll explain in a little
National
bit.
Chocolate
Be
Day.
back in a moment. Stay with us.
Yeah, man.
She helps me.
The only way.
I know it doesn't take much.
Kids,
It doesn't
teenage
take
boys.
much. So speaking of food and things to eat, we were in the entertainment report. Had this story from David Beckham, who was saying his wife Victoria Beckham, Posh Spice.
Yes.
For the last 25 years, has eaten nothing but the same thing with for the most part. So
few exceptions.
Yeah, she eats grilled fish and steamed vegetables for dinner every single
day,
night, no matter what. And I'm sure that there are people that have a regular eating habit. I want to know if anyone listening has eaten the same thing day after day for years, except maybe for the rarest of occasion of breaking that. Just a rare occasion.
We're not talking, for like 3 weeks I was having hamburgers. No, we're talking years.
Yeah, I had for at least 5 years, maybe even longer. I ate the same thing on the way into work every single day. I get into a habit. I get into a routine. I'm like, I like the taste of this. It suits my dietary needs.
It's a ritual.
And I'll get it done.
Yes.
So I would have every morning, I would stop by Wawa and I would get a cup of coffee. I would get a non-fat milk and one of those blueberry breakfast bars.
Right.
I don't know if Kellogg's makes them. I forgot who makes them. But I would eat that every single day. And I ate that for at least 5 years. I realized it one day. I'm like, oh, my God, you never deviate from this, ever.
That's like an on-the-go I'm grabbing. Did you ever have a situation where you ate the same thing you prepared or had it prepared the
Not
same
for
way?
years.
For years.
No.
Okay.
No, never did.
So when we were talking about this a little bit ago, you remember our friend Teacher Face?
Yes.
My Teacher Face. Yeah,
she's
she
great.
She won teacher best high school teacher.
Yes.
And then came to the Emma Barbecue. Anyway, she sent me a message. She says, I eat the same thing for lunch every single day, and I have my entire teaching career. When I keep my calories consistent up until dinner, then I can go eat like a Viking at dinner time.
Yeah.
So for her, every day at lunch has been the same meal her entire teaching career.
Wow.
So I think maybe the habit of it, you get in that habit and then you like the benefits of it.
I agree. I told you my super weird lunch for many years was an iced tea, an ST iced tea, and a pickle. That was it.
That was it.
That was it for throughout junior high and the first year, 2 years of high school.
Wow.
That was it.
Okay.
Eating lunch was never a main. It was more, okay, here's something. But now that I think back on that, I'm like, what in the hell?
Yeah.
I know somebody who's a very plain eater and doesn't like to experiment or taste other things. And I don't know if he eats the same thing every day, but pretty much. He'll have chicken. He'll go as far as wings, and then that's it. And no, mashed potatoes are fancy. So nothing.
Yeah, there's
nothing
people
like
that have limited,
intake.
Yeah, limited menu. But I'm curious about the exact same meal at the same time every day. I have for the past few years now, and it's breakfast that I normally eat the same thing. I have a banana and coffee
right
every day on my way to work, for years now. But
it's been a Quest protein bar and/or Quest protein cookie for about 3 or 4 years now.
I have pretty much the same lunch every day. You guys always see me eating my lunch.
Yeah.
I get salad and cottage cheese and grapes.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been
And
eating
today
for
it's
years.
Philly pretzels.
Yes, we are. Thank you very much to Philly Pretzel Factory for stopping in this morning. All right, let me get some calls here. I'm going to go to Todd. Hey, Todd, good morning.
Good morning. Sorry to bother you guys at work.
Nah, it's all good, buddy. So what do you eat for? So is it one meal or the same things all day long? What's your regular routine?
So when I was in grad school and my first couple of jobs out of college before I got married, I was on Weight Watchers, and I just found the sweet spot of what worked for me. And every morning for breakfast, I'd have 2 eggs over easy with a quarter cup of cottage cheese and a quarter cup of blueberries and a glass of skim milk. And for lunch, I'd have tuna fish on the thin bread.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Like fruit.
All right.
And it just works.
And how long? How long did you have that every single day?
So it was, to be fair, it was usually like Monday through Friday.
All right.
During work days, but it was probably for 4 years.
Okay. All right. That's not bad.
And that's very healthy, by the way. What he was eating was was pretty damn healthy.
Yep.
It worked.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Thanks, man.
If you have something like that that's foundational, I get it. The funny thing is, if you have a food of preference and you never veer from that food over the course of years.
All right, here we go. Here's one. Let me go to Sean. Hey, Sean, good morning.
Morning, it Fresbo. How are you?
Morning, it, buddy. I am good, man. All right, so yours has been a long run, right?
Yeah, 17 years since I've been doing this job. I've been bringing for lunch peanut butter and jelly every day for 17 years.
17 years.
Without deviating from that. That's wild. And let me ask you, Sean, have you ever gotten tired of it?
No, I have it right behind me right now.
How about that?
Yeah. Do you get excited? It's lunchtime.
No, I love it. Matter of fact, once a month, the company here buys pizza for everybody, and I don't get it. I stick with my peanut butter and jelly.
How many sandwiches do you eat? Just the one?
Mostly 2.
Okay,
at
good.
Lunchtime, sometimes 1, but I bring other stuff. But most of the time, it's 2 peanut butter and jellies. It's got to be certain. I only eat strawberry preserves. That's the only jelly I'll have.
Okay, so you don't even deviate from the jelly, or do you use the same brand peanut butter every single time?
Skippy peanut butter.
Yeah.
Strawberry preserves. Yeah, yep.
All right. White or whole wheat?
White bread. Matter of fact, it's like a Wonder Bread.
Okay.
Have you ever gone crazy and toasted it one day?
No, because I have it in my lunch.
WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Marissa. I just have one thing to say. Order up.
It's time for the Connoisseur.
Let's dive into it, shall we? I've got some stories about food and restaurants and all that good stuff. And we have some things to give away. It is brought to you by our friends at Acme, the official supermarket of the Preston and Steve Show. So we'll have some $50 Acme Markets gift cards to give away in a moment with our movie clips. But we'll dive right into this one. So there's nothing strange about adding, milk or cream to a cup of coffee. But in northern Sweden, they prefer a different kind of dairy with their coffee. And I mean putting it in there. It's cheese.
Cheese in their coffee.
Yeah. Kaffeost is a combination of hot coffee and a particular type of cheese, which is called Lipajusto, which loosely translates to bread cheese. You guys ever had bread cheese?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Is it good?
We have it all the time.
Is it
absolutely
sweeter?
love bread cheese. It's not necessarily sweet on its own. It does have a sweeter taste than, say, cheddar or something like that. But the way that we make it is, so it's a cheese that you can actually heat up on the skillet and it stays together.
Oh, I like that.
And so we cut it up into pieces and then we'll put it in the skillet and we'll heat it up. It only takes a couple minutes to warm it up. And then take it off, and then I drizzle. I dizzle.
You dizzle it, huh?
I dizzle honey, and then I sprinkle some fresh cut up rosemary on it, and mwah!
Yeah. So to me, it looks a little bit like bread pudding. If you have it like of a very dense consistency.
Yeah, it does not have a bread. Even though it's called bread cheese, it does
There's
not.
no bread essence.
No,
Okay.
it does not have a bread, texture or anything like that to it.
You notice I didn't recoil in horror when you said this. I could see with a proper taste. Listen, I've been drinking black coffee because the only element that was missing from my inadvertent intermittent fasting was that I was putting milk and sugar in my coffee during the period where I was fasting. You can't do that. So I'm doing black coffee, and I really hate black coffee, but I drink it. And not to say this would cure the issue, but I'm looking for different ways to enjoy black coffee. So have you had you've never had this, though?
Never
right?
had it in coffee.
Okay.
No, it seems odd to me to put it in coffee, but the more I read about this, the more it might make a little sense. So the name most likely comes from the bread cheese. The name comes most likely from the cheese absorbent quality, which allows it to take on a surprising amount of coffee flavor after soaking for only a few minutes. The spongy texture may not be for everybody, but the taste is said to be more than worth it once you put it in the coffee. Lipa Giusto is noticeably sweeter than your average block of cheddar, so adding a few pieces to your cup of coffee is surprisingly similar to adding cream or milk and sugar.
You know what? If the idea is to absorb the coffee,
and take on
I might
that
put a
flavor.
tampon in my coffee. Jesus. Because very, very absorbent.
It is, yeah.
By the way, there was, when we were in Norway, and Scandinavian food is interesting. Some of it's really good, and some of it's like, I don't know about that. But there was when we went out for breakfast and we were getting, coffee and pastries and things like that, they would serve the pastry that we ordered with this side of this brown cheese. And it was... I don't want to say that it had like the cream cheese consistency fully, like, malleable and soft like that.
Right.
But it was softer.
Spreadable.
It was softer than your normal. Yeah, it wasn't spreadable, but it was a little more firm than a spreadable cheese. And it was very sweet. And I loved it. I think we ended up finding some at IKEA. I'm not 100% sure. But I need to find out what that is. It
I'm
was really
feeling
good.
like I'd be down with that.
So consuming Kaffeost, which is the dish of putting the bread cheese into the coffee, has deep cultural roots among the reindeer herders of northern Sweden and Finland.
So then obviously Santa has to be on board.
It is said that semi-nomadic Sami people discovered the delicious combination of coffee and cheese during their travels. They noticed that Kaffeost helped solve their sodium deficiency problems, while the hot coffee kept them warm and gave them the needed energy to journey through the cold. Coffee and cheese may not sound like a match made in heaven for most people, but in Scandinavia, the popularity of Kaffeost is on the rise. Specialty coffee shops are increasingly offering it, along with variations that use cow's milk or goat's milk cheese alongside the traditional reindeer milk, Lipa Giusto. So I guess these are made from reindeer milk.
Yeah, listen, I wonder if there are any places in the area that have this and serve it this way. I'd be curious to try it.
Well, you can get bread cheese at any grocery store.
So, okay, didn't know that.
Should be able to.
How about head cheese? Would that go well in coffee?
I've never had head cheese.
Should we send somebody to Acme right now? Head cheese is actually meat, though, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's not cheese. If you guys want to.
Can we send somebody to Acme, get a little bread
let's see
cheese?
if
I'll
they have
try
it.
it.
Okay, I'll have to wait, but I do want to try it.
I find it better heated up.
Yeah.
But we could definitely do that. Wait, what did you just ask a second ago? Head cheese.
Yeah,
I've never dared.
I
Have you?
have, and I don't. Listen, I ate a little bit of the Stroman.
What did you think of head cheese?
And I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But in red, it wouldn't be something that I'd eat. I did it more as a dare because of its brains, basically.
It's like a lot of stuff.
Okay.
It's like the sweetbreads and other things that are kind of boiled down. So not quite like Scrapple,
Right.
Because it's also got the gelatin in there too.
Scrapple's better. Scrapple and Spam is much better.
It's parts of the head. So it's the parts of the head used vary, and they may include the tongue, but do not commonly include brain, eyes, or ears.
Okay. So laboring under a misconception.
Boil the head or
Is
whatever.
there another? Cause you know what I used to love was a pimento loaf. Is there another type of lunch meat that is like head cheese, but not quite head cheese, where it's got all that gelatin stuff in there, or is that
I think that
the
might be
thing?
head cheese.
It's got to be head
That
cheese.
is the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hang on, I'm going to go to a call real quick because Susan's daughter lives in Norway, so I'm going to go to her. Hi, Susan, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning to you. It's sold in Wegmans. It's sold in a lot of grocery stores now, and it's Brunost, which means brown cheese, which is BRUN.
Oh, the brown stuff.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, the brown stuff. It's actually a caramel goat cheese.
Oh, that makes
And
sense.
that's why you like it. And it does have that creamier texture, but it's also the creamier with the goat cheese. Yes, they do a lot of things with their coffee in Norway also. They do put the cheeses in the coffee.
Have you ever had it before?
I did, but I didn't care for it.
Oh.
The cheese, and that was just me. This is me.
I think
I'm
I'd
not
want
really a coffee drinker.
Yeah, caramel goat cheese. I think I kind of that sounds pretty good.
Pretty good, man.
You might actually, you can try it. But they laugh because they didn't think the Americans would like the brown cheese, and then we go over and we're like, oh no, the brown cheese is where it's at.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's really good.
All right.
Great. Thank you, Susan. Appreciate it. Take care. All right.
Yeah, have a good day.
All right.
You too.
We are ready for our first clip of the day. This is from a film. It has to do with food or drink. And if you identify, we have a $50 Acme Markets gift card. So here we go.
Yeah? Who are you, the guy that makes the donuts?
Please. No, I'm King Candy.
All right, 610-660-9333. Call now. Oh, wait. Yeah, order up next. Yes. I forgot the order at which we do these things. All right, so let me see. How about, okay, Marissa sent me this story. Marissa, I'm going to need a little bit of your feedback on this because I didn't fully understand the whole thing. But Galifty's restaurant, is that how you say it?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so serving the Bryn Mawr community since 1975 is celebrating its 50th anniversary. And there are 3 special events to mark the occasion as the restaurant located in the Rosemont Square Shopping Center debuts a new look, a new menu, and an upstairs lounge with specialty cocktails and a record player for nostalgic guests to enjoy their favorite albums. This is according to the owner. His name is Jason Johnson. So, Marissa, you've been going there for a long time with your family.
Yeah, as soon as I see the word Galifty's, I get so nostalgic. As a family, for a good 10 or 15 years, we were probably there almost once a week. Like that was our family meeting spot.
Okay, so here's the deal about it. It's originally from Pittsburgh. Okay, it's from the Pittsburgh area. It's a chain. There's several of them.
I didn't know all of these things.
So, and here's what Marissa said. She didn't know about the origin of the name. So the restaurant was named after a phrase used on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And I tried to find what the phrase was. I looked online and I couldn't find anywhere on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood when they would use Galifty's as a phrase of sorts. But apparently that's where they got it. And it was opened by Jason's father, Gene, and mother, Betty Jane, and has been owned and operated by the family ever since. So, yeah, I thought that's what it was saying. That when I looked it up online,
So it comes from Mr. Rogers.
yeah, the name does.
The name. Huh.
But yeah, I thought I read that. Nick,
Yeah.
could you do a little research on that for me?
It's in the article. It says it's named for something in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It's not it says that Fred Rogers used to go to Galifty's. Doesn't he have Pittsburgh ties?
He does.
So
That's
maybe
where the
that
show
was it?
started. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So, but it says named after a phrase used on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So, I don't know.
That's when he was explaining what "See You Next Tuesday" meant. So Galifty's for me always had really rockin' pizza.
Yeah.
So we would Claire and I would go. Haven't gone a lot recently, but
They got a really good French dip there, too.
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah, there were so many changes over the years. It's definitely a lot different from when we were kids, but it was a spot where you would go, you would finish your meals as quickly as possible because you would want to go play Pac-Man. They had the sit-down Pac-Man.
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
tabletop, yeah.
tabletop Pac-Man.
Oh, that's
There
cool.
you go. All right.
All right, so here we go. Galifty's. We found this. Galifty's, what is that? Irish, Italian, whatever. Nope, it's an American. It's as American as Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. X the owl from the land of make-believe in his neighborhood. Everything was nifty galifty, as he would say.
I thought so because yes, okay. The nifty aspect was something I thought might have been part of it. Maybe I am having a flashback and remembering this now.
So that's where it comes from.
Nifty galifty.
So
Love
Jason, the owner, credits the restaurant's long-standing mainline tradition to the hardworking, loyal staff inspired by Galifty's Bakery. Lead and others who have retired after years of dedicated service, but who have helped shape the business for more than 40 years.
Yeah, so Marissa, we went there growing up quite a bit as well, and then I lived in Wayne a couple different times, and we went there, when I've lived there, my son has liked it since he was a little kid. But you're right, they've changed the inside quite a bit over the years. And do you still walk down when you get into that shopping center?
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
The last time I remember, my memories of the place are literally we'd put our name in and then we would go next door to the Borders bookstore and play Berenstein Bears computer games while we waited. So those are where my memories. But I do remember that atrium room in the front.
Right. Yeah.
And then there was the bar in the back.
I always remember walking down, and that's when I've gone to it. And also, isn't Pierre's gym right around the
It was.
corner?
I don't know if it still is or not.
We used to, you're bringing back all these vivid memories. And I never went to Galifty's, but we had a couple of different spots that we would go to in Delco. But I just vividly remember the things that we would do to pass the time. to wait for our table. You know, we would play matchbook football. Do you guys ever play like matchbook football?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
you play the football with like the 3 coins? You would do that.
Yep.
Yeah, all of that stuff.
Or straw and a piece of paper and blowing it around the
God
table.
forbid my parents ever call and make a reservation.
I mean, now you just look down at your screen. And then you wait that way.
Well, the placemat used to be a thing. It would be a time killer. The places would have the connected dots and things you could do like that.
So it has employed more than 10,000 people over the decades. There are currently 40 team members and a kitchen staff that offers 150 years of combined experience. That's huge. 40. Is the place gigantic?
It's pretty big.
Okay.
Yeah.
The restaurant has served over 8 million people since its inception. The baker has made over 10,000 chocolate mousse pies, which is a fan favorite since 1982.
Can we forget the mousse for a moment?
And the restaurant has served over 10,000 tons of food. So they are refurbing it, which is pretty cool. All right, we'll play the clip again, see if you know what movie this is from.
Yeah? Who are you, the guy that makes the donuts?
Please. No, I'm King Candy.
All right, we will go to Mario and see if we can get a winner. Hey, Mario, good morning.
Big brown Guatemala nipple.
Getting tucked on by all sorts of pibbles.
Mario.
All right,
buddy.
Mario, name that movie, buddy.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph is correct, yes. Hang on just a second, sir. We are going to give you a $50 Acme Market gift card, and I can't put them on hold.
All right,
Wait, there it goes. Just got it. Okay. $50 Acme Markets gift card. Hungry and in a hurry? Well, Acme's Flash Grocery Delivery or Pickup gets you fresh groceries in 30 minutes or less, fast, fresh, right to your door. Acme Fresh Foods. Local flavors. We're going to tee up another clip, play this one for you, so you can identify this.
Double rock and rye and 7 carlings.
All right, 610-660-9333 is the number. Casey, fired up.
All right.
Yeah. Time for the fast food roundup for you, Bibble.
My favorite segment.
All right, well, I got a few things to tell you about. Yelp has broken down which chicken sandwich chains are winning the hearts and stomachs across the United States.
So we had, I guess, about a 2 to 3 year run of really pitched chicken sandwich battles between like Popeyes and Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
So and remember, there were people who were waiting in lines.
Even Burger King tried to do like the Chick-King, and Chick-King doesn't exist anymore, Burger King.
Chick-King. All right, so here are their picks, and I'll go from the top down.
All right.
Because number one, what would you guess?
Chick-fil-A.
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 Yeah.
Chick-fil-A is number one. Says no surprise here. The Atlanta-based chain tops the list, and that is thanks to its signature Southern-style sandwich with dill pickles and buttery bun,
Which is great.
with over 3,000 locations in 48 states, and its popularity is unmatched. I was lucky having lived in the South for a time. I told you
were
guys I lived in
familiar
South
with this, yeah.
Carolina. I ate Chick-fil-A as a kid.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of newer around this area, but I grew up on that stuff.
Yeah.
And was lucky for that because it's quite tasty. Number two is Dave's Hot Chicken.
Haven't had it yet.
Relatively
heard,
newcomer. Yeah.
Yeah, it is fairly new.
Founded in 2017. So
Wow.
it's just begun. And it's exploded in popularity with the spicy Nashville-style chicken that got its start in an East Hollywood parking lot.
I know my son is a fan, and
I love parking lot chicken.
Yeah, no, I know he's a fan, and that we were trying to go there. We were on our way home from one of his rugby matches somewhere, and it was just too far off the beaten path. Like like we were going down the turnpike, and the Dave's Hot Chicken was like 20 minutes off the road. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Doesn't look like there's a ton of locations in our area, Case.
Then third is Raising Cane's.
Yeah, I've been there. I like
known
that.
for its chicken fingers.
Yeah.
Chicken fingers.
Are we talking chicken fingers or chicken sandwiches, though?
Chicken fingers.
But the chicken sandwich, I believe, is made up of chicken strips.
Yeah,
unless I'm misreading.
This does say chicken sandwich chains, Casey. So it says, known for its chicken fingers and signature cane sauce, the Louisiana-born brand has a cult following, especially on social media.
Was Raising Cane's started by Herman Cain?
Don't know. Who's Herman
Remember
Cain?
he ran for president
Oh.
a couple of years ago? He was an entrepreneur.
He's dead. I know that.
Don't know. It says, let's see. Founder is Todd Graves.
Okay, I was way off.
Craig Sylvie in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Let's see. And by the way, Raising Cane's has been involved in Camp Out for Hunger. If you remember, they brought out a bunch of stuff.
That was a good experience.
Thank you, Raising Cane's. Fourth on this list is Shake Shack. I have to admit, I've never had their chicken sandwich before because I eat their burgers when I go there.
Yeah.
Today, by the way, is They have like a free Friday. I think it's a National Friday or something along those lines. Yeah, on a Friday.
that.
Imagine that. And if you have the app, I think you get a free side of fries with ordering a burger or whatever. Number 5 is Popeyes. And for a while, that would have been neck and neck with Chick-fil-A.
The spicy chicken sandwich is really what I don't want to say put them on the map, but I guess brought them back to prevalence.
Right. Number 6, I've never heard of this. The Habit Burger Grill. Don't know anything about it.
There's heroin in it.
Believe it or not, number 7 on this list is Denny's.
What?
Yeah. Number 8 is Wingstop, and then number 9, McDonald's. And number 10 is Zaxby's.
So I mentioned this because I think if you're looking for an option, it is my absolute favorite chicken sandwich. Hip City Veg has the Hip City chicken sandwich. It's not chicken.
It's not chicken.
But it's goddamn good.
In other fast food news, it's not often McDonald's releases a new variation on its famous breakfast sandwiches, but starting this week, you're able to order 2 of its McMuffin sandwiches with some spice. The burger joint is releasing a spicy version of the Egg McMuffin and Sausage McMuffin, including the one with egg, for a limited time only. The spice will come in the form of McDonald's spicy pepper sauce, which already graces the daytime menu on the spicy McCrispy sandwich.
Pepper.
I have a sauce present for you.
It is time to reveal. Nick had mentioned this earlier. He's like, you got any sauce stories this morning? I'm like, I don't think so, but actually I do. You're right.
And it's coincidentally, Preston, a bit of a spicy sauce.
Okay.
So I mentioned this on air at one point in the Connoisseur, and I want you guys to try it at whatever point. It's called spicy harissa mayonnaise. I put it on eggs. I put it on whatever. I love it. I have turned it into the thing that I put on everything.
You put that ass on everything.
I put this ass on everything, on spicy harissa. So I got you guys each one.
Wow.
And I want you to try it, and it's Harissa. You don't have to try it right now, but just try it at some point over the next week or so and let me know what you think.
I would definitely do that.
What would you liken it to?
Thank you.
Like a Southwestern thing?
Kind of like a spicy aioli.
Okay.
You know, Casey, what's the one you talk about with Chipotle? There's one of there's a new...
The adobo ranch?
Yeah, kind of like that a little bit. Yeah.
So how hot is it?
It's not that hot, and that's kind of part of the reason why I like it. Like, it's kind of aioli-ish, but I've not tasted anything like it before. Steve, when I have when we have eggs at home or whatever, I'll just put a little bit in there instead of ketchup. I love it.
Speaking of which, it says it is made with cage-free eggs. I love when they let the eggs roam freely.
Yeah,
right.
So McDonald's has been working on the spicy angle for a few years now. Releases like the spicy McNuggets, limited time sauces like Nether Flame sauce, which was genuinely spicy for fast food product, but it might be an easy twist on existing menus. But spicy doesn't really sell when it comes to fast food. So this limited time only option of McDonald's classic breakfast sandwiches does make a little bit of a sense in a scheme of things. So they don't normally McMuffins don't come with any condiments at all, but they're going to put this on it.
You're talking about spicy doesn't sell, but who just released
Burger King
with the
chips.
What do they call them?
I forgot what those are
What
called.
are those super hot chips?
Oh, the Takis.
Takis.
So they have a menu subdivision that is all based on that taste.
Yeah, and I think that those are obviously novelty for people who
Right.
All right, I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if I can stand this. But it probably won't last the test of time. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think it's going to be a complete menu edition. It's like a McRib level thing.
All right, and then one last fast food story. If you recently applied for a job at McDonald's, you may not be loving this cyber bit of news. Mickey D's AI hiring bot has exposed the personal information of roughly 64 million job applicants.
That could be a problem.
Yeah.
So how did this happen? Well, it seems the password to break through the high-tech security.
Don't 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh my God!
Seriously?
Which didn't
That's what someone puts on their luggage.
a mastermind to crack. The issue was discovered by security researchers who say they cracked the system in 30 minutes through simple password guessing and database manipulation.
Who the hell does that?
The McHire platform was created by AI software firm Paradox AI. Both McDonald's and Paradox have acknowledged the breach, fixed it the same day that they learned about it.
It's now ABCDEFG.
And Paradox has launched a bug bounty program to spot future vulnerabilities. Wow.
Jeez.
All right, let's see if somebody listening knows what movie this is from.
Double rock and rye and 7 carlings.
All right, we are are going to go to Mike, see if he knows the answer. Mike, morning, bud.
Good morning, fellas. How we doing?
Awesome. All right, all you got to do is name that movie and you get the prize. What is it?
Animal House.
Of course. And on Bruce McGill's birthday today, played D-Day.
Perfect.
Hang on just a moment, sir. We are going to give you a $50 Acme Markets gift card. You got to check out their Flash Grocery Delivery Pickup. Gets you fresh groceries in 30 minutes or less with Acme. Teeing up another clip has to do with movie or drink, or not movie or drink, food or drink from a movie. One of these years, I'll get it right.
Don't you have it pre-recorded?
Here we
What movie is this food clip from?
Thank you, Casey. Here we go.
Where are you boys headed?
Canada. We're going over the border to Canada for some French fries and gravy, sir.
Poutine. Canada, huh? Almost made it.
All right, 610-660-9333 is the number, so call now. Order up. Oh, sorry. All right, I said every now and then I might have another little featurette. It's only one story, but it has to do with one of my absolute favorite subjects. Let me turn this down. My absolute favorite subjects in the world of food, and it is...
Ice cream!
All right. DoorDash has insights on our favorite frozen treat, and they have listed America's favorite ice cream flavors according to their delivery service. So it's not by everything that people go out and buy in the stores. This is just what people are getting delivered through the year, a year's worth of ice cream. So according to DoorDash, the most ordered ice cream, and these are in no particular order, but Ben & Jerry's Half-Baked. Have not had that.
I like that.
What do you know what the ingredients are?
There's a few different varieties, if I remember correctly. There's brownie and there's a peanut butter one. So they have a bunch that you can try from.
Only 2 of these are not Ben & Jerry's, by the way. Ben & Jerry's chocolate chip cookie dough. Yeah. Ben & Jerry's strawberry cheesecake. No. Ben & Jerry, no.
I don't like cheesecake.
Oh,
I love it. But I do like me some graham cracker. So if there's a little graham cracker swirl in there, I might be able to do that.
Squirrel?
Swirl?
Oh, I thought
I heard squirrel too.
I did too.
Let's check the tape. I'm fairly certain I said swirl, but let's check the tape.
That's a Jethro recipe.
Marissa's not in the other room, but
I like my squirrel with cheesecake.
If anybody else had heard squirrel,
I definitely heard squirrel.
Please let us know.
Let's check the tape. Let's just move on. We'll check the tape. We'll come back.
Marissa, did you hear that? All right, Casey just said something about 1 minute ago. We want to check the tape on. He was trying to say...
He did say.
Graham cracker swirl, but we all heard squirrel.
Squirrel?
Yeah, if you could...
Back and to the left.
Thank you.
Back and to the left.
So the Ben & Jerry's, the Tonight Dough, that's the Jimmy Fallon
I like that one.
Ben & Jerry's Chocolate Fudge Brownie. Ben & Jerry's Milk and Cookies.
That is my second fave.
Okay, and then Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia.
All right, I'm waiting. Is there still another Ben & Jerry's?
There is.
Okay.
But before that, and I guess these are in order, Haagen-Dazs. That's my brand.
That's your jam.
Oh, Haagen-Dazs strawberry. But that's pretty damn boring. But even Haagen-Dazs, just regular flavors are great.
Again, you got to remember that probably most people that are ordering this are stoned, right? Yeah.
Well, here you go. Ben & Jerry's fish food is next.
So, okay, that's my favorite Ben & Jerry's.
Okay. I don't really like Ben & Jerry's.
But you know, the funny thing is, I don't either. I'm not a fan of crap jammed in.
That's it. They put too much stuff in there, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but bizarrely, fish food works for me. So I do like that flavor.
And then the last one on the list is Haagen-Dazs caramel cone or caramel cone. Or
Kayak.
Kayak. My favorite Haagen-Dazs, if you don't mind me opining for a moment here, there's number one, they're pistachios out of this world. You guys know pistachio is my favorite flavor. But they have Swiss almond. Yum. It's these chocolate-covered almonds in a really yummy vanilla. So I love that one. And then there's believe it or not, a pineapple coconut is really good too.
Okay.
I just think Haagen-Dazs makes a superior ice cream.
Hey, could you eat coconut ice cream if you put spicy harissa?
No, I mean, look, if I'm on a desert island and the only ice cream that's there is coconut ice cream, I'll be all right.
All right.
I make it.
You're not going to believe it, but there's an ice cream stand on this.
Yeah, Ben & Jerry's is thicker. It is a thicker, more dense ice cream. I prefer it, but my favorite is the Gimme S'mores. It's got the graham cracker squirrel in it.
There was one time, let me tell you a short story here. Casey butt dialed me.
Okay.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. This was years and years and years ago. You were still living in your old house, your first house. And I'm sitting there, and as is when someone butt dials, you sit and listen for a while.
Yeah.
And you were saying something that I did not know you were talking about ice cream.
Okay.
And you were like, I like to put cookie dough in brownie batter. And I was like, what is he talking about? You said you would like to mix cookie dough and brownie batter. And you ended up, I told you later on about it, and you said you were talking about ice cream. I think might have been Ben & Jerry's specifically.
I think Ben & Jerry's.
I like to put my cookie dough and brownie batter. Now just hold still. This is going to hurt a little bit.
Oh, my God. Now, I think that Ben & Jerry's used to make a brownie batter ice cream.
I think so.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, it was a little brownie batter swirl.
You don't remember that at all?
No.
When I asked you about it?
I don't remember anything about anything.
Okay. Do you remember saying graham cracker squirrel a moment ago?
I said swirl.
Let's find out. We have the tape. Are you ready? All right, this was moments ago. Let's see.
But I do like me some graham cracker. So if there's a little graham cracker swirl in there, I might be.
Damn
it! But I do like me some graham cracker. So if there's a little graham cracker swirl in there, I might be able to do that. All right, I was wrong.
I thought I heard that.
We all heard it. Yeah? Well, yesterday, Preston, you were supposed to say the PGW, and you said the PGA, and I just let that go. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't even pick up on that one either.
What's better, squirrel or PGA?
Squirrel. And the fact that because that could legitimately be something. A little cookie.
Yeah, little cookies.
Little cookie that is in the shape of a squirrel.
Right. Yeah. Like an animal cracker.
Graham cracker squirrel, or like a squirrel holds a nut. It could be like a graham cracker and nut type of thing.
So that would be okay. That would be the flavor name.
Yeah,
graham cracker squirrel. So nuts and graham crackers.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do like me some graham cracker. So if there's a little graham cracker swirl in there, I might be able to do that. Damn it.
Sorry.
Usually I'm wrong, though. I mean, but I had to stand
But
my
you're
ground on
fourth
that
right.
one.
Yeah. No, you held your ground.
It is so funny because usually when there's a standoff of sorts, I'm like, no, I'm right. And I'm never, ever, ever right.
All right, we're going to go to the phone and see if somebody knows what this clip is from, what movie this clip is from. Here we go.
Where are you boys headed?
Canada. We're going over the border to Canada for some French fries and gravy, sir.
Poutine. Canada, huh? Almost made it.
All right, we got Andy who wants to take a crack at this. Hey, Andy, good morning, bud.
Hey, bitches.
Hey, what? All right, Andy, what movie is that clip from?
Super Troopers.
Yeah, you got it. Hold on, my friend, and you got yourself a $50 Acme Markets gift card. Hungry and in a hurry. Acme's Flash Grocery Delivery Pickup. Get you fresh groceries in 30 minutes or less. Fresh foods, local flavors at Acme. All right, another movie clip has to do with food or drink. Let's see if you know this one.
No, this is my private area, my place of zen and peace.
Listen to me.
Who is? Shut up, Grandma! What are you doing here?
Just give me a break, will you?
Grandma, drink your prune juice!
All right. 610-660-9333. Order up. All right, we talked about this story earlier this morning with 6ABC. Matt and Aliana had brought it up to us, but I thought it was worth putting into the Connoisseur. So something called Amen, or A-I-M-A-N, AI Man, Amen, which is an... it's been trained, it's an AI service, trained with food science principles, culinary technique, and thousands of pre-existing recipes and food traditions from around the world. And it is essentially going to create the menu at this restaurant. And so this is in Dubai that this is taking place.
Not Abu Dhabi.
It's a restaurant called Woohoo, believe it or not. And in September... it's built on this principle, dining in the future, as they are going to use AI to dictate the menu.
So we talked about it, and it's if you liken it to, again, you're having recipes that are just loaded in, and it's kind of a randomizer, but it's using AI logic to put together a menu. I'm not opposed to this, but I do, and we, as we were saying earlier to Matt and Aliana, Preston. Chef is a creative. There's an artistic thing to that as well. And so I do like it's less, we were talking about a band that was completely created out of AI. You like to know that the music you're getting was inspired not just a replication or a riff, but recipes are recipes, and you'll copy a recipe and make it yourself.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I'm not.
It's just a gimmick.
It's a gimmick.
I'm not like opposed to it. I'm not necessarily for it. It's just a gimmick, but
yeah,
whatever.
So, Chef,
how's your squirrel?
Chef Eamon doesn't actually do any of the cooking. Instead, it develops new, unique recipes by analyzing flavor profile, texture, and seasonality of a wide variety of ingredients. These recipes are often then tested by a team of flesh and blood human chefs headed by Reef Othman and tweaked as needed. Eamon, the actual AI, said in an interview with Reuters.
Oh, boy.
Their responses to my suggestions help refine my understanding of what works beyond pure data. The restaurant is slated to serve Asian-inspired cuisine with international influences and is built around the concept of offering diners completely unique food and beverages.
So, by the way, the interface for this AI is the Ed 209 robot from RoboCop.
Oh.
So it turns out you're going to like whatever you get.
Yeah, and you'll have 30 seconds to comply. Oytun Kakir is a chef at the executive and the executive of hospitality company Gastronaut, which is an interesting name.
Yeah.
Said human cooking will not be replaced, but we believe that Eamon will elevate the ideas creatively. Wow, okay.
Okay.
Eamon also has been trained with sustainability in mind. According to its creators, the AI chef will synthesize recipes that reuse, reduce, and recycle commonly rejected ingredients like fat, trimmings, and other components that may require a bit of...
I've determined that humans are causing too much waste.
A bit of culinary creativity. Fat and trimmings.
All the trimmings.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I had when you were a kid, and you would eat steak, would you eat the fat?
No.
Oh, I did.
Oh my God! Even to this point, that's one of the reasons I hate steak, or I'm not a steak eater.
I still do.
Gristle,
you still eat the fat?
Absolutely.
Oh, Jesus
Well, there's a
Christ.
difference between gristle and fat.
Either
gristle
or.
is tough, and fat is actually very delicate.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh man, that's where all the flavor is. That's where the flavor goes into your steak. But I say I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But I ate it as a kid, and my youngest, I'd cooked up some ribeyes, and they got plenty of fat running through them. And I was like, yeah, you got to cut around the fat to get to all the meat. That's a difficulty. And they were just like, oh, I eat all the fat. I was like, all right.
After your own heart.
But I used to do it too.
Yeah.
Just because it tasted so good. Nick still does.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
We're good.
All right, let's see if... Nope. I just did the bell. I know. I did the bell for Nick. I was just saying, eat the fat. You're a winner.
Eat the fat.
All right, let's see if you can identify what movie this is from.
No, this is my private area, my place of zen and peace.
Listen to me.
Who is? Shut up, Grandma! What are you doing here?
Just give me a break, will you?
Grandma, drink your prune juice!
All right, we are going to Patrick. Try and get an answer. Patrick, morning.
Patrick.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Patrick, do you know what movie that's from?
That would be Transformers.
Yeah. That's right, Ricky. Hang on. We'll get your information, and we're going to set you up with a $50 Acme Markets gift card, and it's Acme Fresh Foods, local flavors. We only have one more clip to play and one more story to share, so let's play the clip. Let's see if you know what this is from.
I'll take 2 banana daiquiris, 1 mango, slow gin fizz, 1 slippery nipple, and for me, a screaming orgasm on the beach with extra sugar on the rim. Yum.
All right, 610-660-9333 is the number. Order up! One last one. Scientists have found that eating too much dairy can actually give people nightmares. Canadian researchers studied 1,082 students at MacEwan University to see if there's a link between what people eat and how well they sleep. And they found that about a third of the students had regular nightmares, and women were more likely to remember their dreams and report poor sleep. And the big finding was a strong link between lactose intolerance and nightmares.
So, it was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare. I would say if you have a lot of dairy, your nightmare will be about some utter catastrophe. Because it's milk.
I have never associated food with dreams. Some people do. There are like wives' tales about
Yes.
if you eat this type of food, you'll sleepwalk or you have nightmares. Or I haven't heard that stuff since I was a kid.
Nick,
but-
are you lactose intolerant?
I am not lactose intolerant, but I am lactose
averse.
If I can do like the lactate style milk or whatever, I'll do that. But this, like Preston, this would get to me. If I eat ice cream too late, or if I do. And Tom Papa has that bit about you have a half a cookie after 8 p.m. and you don't sleep for 2 weeks. But the older I get and the crappier I eat and the later in the day it'll affect my dreams and it'll certainly affect my sleep. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that falls right in line with this research, Nick. They think this happens because people who can't digest lactose well might get gas or stomach pain during the night, which can mess with your dreams.
Yeah. I get gassy. And so that'll mess with me. It's usually toots and not diarrhea.
Oh, okay,
that wasn't.
There you go. That's a cute one, by the way. Is that labeled as cute fart? No, that's question fart.
Question fart.
Don't you have one that's labeled cute?
No, I don't think so. I got fart mad.
That's the mad one. Yes.
Let me check.
I thought there was cute. Okay,
try.
maybe I'm wrong.
Nope.
So about 40% of students said that they thought eating late at night or certain foods affected their sleep. Did you have a cute fart?
I thought I did. I do not.
Okay. Most people who blamed food for bad dreams pointed to sweets, spicy food, or dairy as the problem.
I don't have. I don't eat. After 8, but I can have coffee or caffeine, no issue. There's really nothing that affects me that way where I feel something I've ingested or that I've been drinking causes me to have nightmares or dreams.
Yeah, I don't associate it either. A study finds that people with food sensitivities might be able to sleep better by changing what they eat. This could explain why so many people always have blamed cheese for causing bad dreams. I didn't know they did that.
I didn't know that.
All right, we'll play the clip here again, see if we can get a winner. What movie is this from?
I'll take 2 banana daiquiris, 1 mango, slow gin fizz, 1 slippery nipple, and for me, a screaming orgasm on the beach with extra sugar on the rim. Yum.
All right, we're going to go to Leah. Hi there, Leah.
Hi, good morning. Those tornadoes were real.
Those tornadoes were real.
All right, Leah, do you know what movie that's from?
The hot chick.
Hell yeah. Yep, hang on a second, and we'll gather your info, and you will get the $50 Acme Markets gift card. Hungry in a hurry. Acme's Flash Grocery Delivery or Pickup. Get you fresh groceries in 30 minutes or less. Fast, fresh, right to your door. Acme Fresh Foods and local flavors. So that's it. We're wrapping up the Connoisseur Friends, so thank you for being a part of this segment and playing along. We do appreciate it. We have some other things that we're going to get to. We will take a break and return in a moment. Our buddy Jason Myrtetus is stopping by here. And I think we might try out a new game this morning. So we have some other things to give away. We have the Superman screening passes.
No.
We don't have
Fantastic Four.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's well in advance. Very cool.
All right, so we'll take a break and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Can't say no. I can't say it's always white bread, peanut butter and jelly every time.
It's as basic a sandwich. If you were to set off a bomb
Thanks,
in the
Sean.
kitchen, you'd probably have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich somewhere after the in the debris.
All right, let me go to here. I'll bet we have a bunch of people that do peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day. We have Clayton. Hi, Clayton. Good morning.
Good morning, you guys rock.
Thank you, Clayton. All right, what's your regular and how long's it been going on?
Well, it's been going on since I was in the 10th grade, and I've been eating peanut butter and jelly, of course, and it's been on potato bread, and it's been Concord grape jelly, and it's been Skippy peanut butter. And the funniest thing about it is that since I started working in the industry of trees, everybody I know that's a big kid eats peanut butter and jelly.
Really?
That's it. I mean, every single person I've met and run into in the industry eats peanut butter and jelly.
So now are we talking the 3 squares a day, or how many meals are peanut butter and jelly based?
Eating personally, breakfast, lunch, and sometimes dinner if we make it home by 9 o'clock. We're lucky.
These guys, how many people in your crew, Clayton?
We got 5 guys in the crew. So
wow, man.
Yeah, but it's pretty funny. We all,
You should contact Skippy and let them know your story.
I want to see a picture on social media of all 5 of you guys eating your peanut butter jelly sandwiches at the same time, and then just tag us on that.
We'll tag Shaggy will get Jason up in the tree holding the peanut butter.
Do you think there's
Thanks, Clayton.
in the realm of comfort sandwiches? Is there really peanut butter jelly
the
is
one,
such
man.
a basic?
Yeah, there's something really good
Yeah.
about it. You
I
know,
think
I
the school
had a grilled
attachment.
cheese for
Yeah.
dinner last night, but
Yeah.
that's
another
a
one.
different thing.
Yeah.
it's a different thing. You got to. It's more preparation.
It's too much
more,
work.
It's more of a meal.
Yeah.
A peanut butter and jelly sandwich is just something really, really great about
Yeah.
it.
God, I love peanut butter, and it's the one thing that still tastes weird to me.
Oh.
after
Kidding.
COVID.
After COVID,
Yeah.
really? What is it? What do
I
you
don't
get?
know. It's not. It's just not the same. It's not. I don't know what it is. I can taste it, but it's like it almost doesn't taste like great. So what's the point? You know?
Yeah.
Destroyed your peanut butter receptor.
It's weird. And you know what? It happened to one of my friends too. She said the same thing about peanut butter. Sorry, I'm digressing.
No, it's all right. I'll continue down peanut butter lane here for a moment. Nick, I finally went to the Cape May peanut butter company.
yeah.
And yep. And
Casey's been, yeah.
And I brought back the honey peanut butter.
Oh, my God.
It's
the?
Yeah.
I want to live on peanut butter lane.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel bad eating.
Yes, you should. You should feel bad.
I do.
We need to take a sojourn to Peanut Butter Lane.
It's so good. And
Get in the wagon.
I haven't tried their other ones yet. So
Have you tried it on like toast? You know, warm it up a
yeah.
little
Oh
bit?
yeah. That's the only way I have it.
The butterscotch peanut butter is
He's not an animal.
Butterscotch peanut butter.
Yeah. I feel like I brought it in for you.
I'm going to shoot.
That sounds pretty good. Okay, you're going to shoot. No, we don't want that, Gandalf. All right, let me go to. I have Austin next. Hey, Austin. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Can't
Hey.
believe we made it on. Hi, Mom. Let's see here. So for about 10 years since school, since college, I would have a bagel and cream cheese every single morning before class, and that has continued for about 10 years now.
In the working world.
In the working world now, yep. I make a bagel and cream cheese every morning before work. I eat it at work.
It's a standard. It's a standard one, and it's a standard for a lot of people. That's why you'll go into places and they'll have pre-cream cheesed bagels at the ready because it's such a standard.
And here's the thing I want to point out, Austin, is it's still just as satisfying to have that today as it was back.
Toasting it, nice warm bagel with some soft cream cheese is the best thing ever.
All right.
You know what? There is, and
right.
we've talked about how deeply mired in ritual you and I are, and if there's a deviation, it'll throw us off. And I think that becomes a thing with your eating patterns. You know,
Sure.
It's like, well, this is not. I can't have this on. It has to be a bagel.
Yeah, for a long time there. I mean, well, Manja's not here anymore, but I would get an everything bagel toasted and buttered. And that's what I had every single day.
I wonder why I'm okay having the same breakfast every day. And a lot of times the same lunch, but dinner, no.
No, if you got to change it up,
I got to
right?
change it.
Yeah.
You know, it can't be. It's a whole different animal.
And with the leftovers, I can only do like one day after. After that, it's like it's too much.
Yeah.
I can't go back to it.
Kathy, it was excruciating. One time I went to what is the family style Italian
Buca di Beppo?
Buca di Beppo.
Yeah. Didn't realize I had ordered family style for myself.
19
and
days
I
worth
ate the
of-
same thing for like 8 days in a row. And it does become like annoying. It's so annoying quickly.
But you know what, like, Press, with that whole breakfast and lunch thing, it's kind of like what my teacher face was saying. Like, I kind of, at this point, I like kind of like eating the same thing for breakfast and lunchish, and then
rock the dinner.
Yeah, I got you. We'll go to Lou next. Hey, Lou, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you guys?
Good, buddy. All right, Lou, what have you been eating?
Lou from Delco.
Okay.
Hey, all right.
Go ahead, Lou.
So I worked at private ambulance, and a friend of mine owned Zach's Hamburgers, and every night for dinner, we ate there for about 3 years. Burgers, fries, and shakes. On our way between calls. It was,
Every night for 3 years, the same dinner.
Oh my God, yeah. It was, and I still, it's like mental. If I go near Zach's, I got to pull in.
Hey, does Zach still just have the one location at 5 Points? No?
No, there's 3 or 4. The original location was down on Chester Pike. That was perfect for us because we used to drive between 2 places and go right by it.
Okay.
But they have one in Folsom and then that one in 5 Points.
Yeah,
Okay.
my old Arby's is
Thanks,
now a Zach's.
No kidding. I
Yeah.
see it. I remember when it was just very small and
that little spot at
that one
5
place.
Points.
And
yeah.
then remember I saw the cup on Mayor of Easttown. They were
That's
holding
right.
a Zach's Hamburgers cup. All right. Anyway, I digress.
We digress.
Let's go to Eleanor. Hi, Eleanor. Good morning.
Good morning. I like turtles.
Oh, don't we all? So, Eleanor, we're talking about, for those of you just tuning in, we got started with this, David Beckham's wife, Victoria, eats the exact same thing and has for 25 years for dinner. What's your regular thing, and how long has it been going on?
So it was my parents, and my mom took wheat toasted bread with tuna fish and an apple for 22 years when she was working.
Wow.
My dad took white bread with butter and cheese with an orange every day, and he worked for another 10 years after her.
A butter and cheese sandwich?
Butter and cheese sandwich, and which I've never really heard of before, and an orange, but that's it every day for decades.
Decades.
Wow.
And they were from the old country. They were from Scotland, and they came here with nothing but a bag of oranges and a car and 2 kids.
Wow.
So they were so cheap. It was unreal. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
Well, that's the old Scottish thing, right? You know, when you come to my house, ring the doorbell with your elbow because you're going to be bringing something.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, when they put a Wendy's up across the street from her work, she splurged one time in 22 years, and we went to lunch because they had the salad bar.
The super bar at Wendy's.
God, man.
That's funny.
It was disgusting. It was just like, oh, my God, how can you eat this every freaking day? How?
Right.
I
think it becomes psychological.
Eleanor, after work ended, did she switch it up a little bit?
Not really. They were pretty stringent because she went on Weight Watchers like when it first started out, and she ate liver, on Wednesdays. She had, fish on Fridays, blah, blah. It was like this. It was like the same schedule all the time.
Okay.
I hated eating at home. I used to always call my friend, like, does your mom have stovetop stuffing? I'm coming.
That's when you're like, I'm going to live high on the hog. I'm going to have stovetop stuffing.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It's like Larry's mom had liver, too. I'm out of here. Yeah, it was gross.
All right. Thanks, Eleanor. Oh, my God. That's funny. All right. Let's go to Tina, who had a ritual. Hi, Tina. Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, my gosh. I'm so excited. I'm such a fan.
Oh, thank you, Tina. Is this your first time on with us?
This is my first time on, and this is crazy because my husband was on last week. He was a GM for Wawa, and he called.
I remember.
Talking about the batteries.
He gave us very usable information.
And that's so funny. So it's like 2 for 1.
All right. So what have you been eating, and how long have you been eating it?
So for about 15 years, I've been eating Quaker oatmeal, the instant cups. And it does, I think, go to, I'm an elementary school teacher, and for years I was a cereal eater, and we have 4 kids, so there's not enough time in the morning to eat a bowl of cereal. So it was like, oh, this is quick and easy. I'll throw the little oatmeal cup in, and that's what I've been doing now. Every day, my students love it. They laugh. Sometimes they'll come in and be like, oh, my gosh, it smells like syrup. Were you having, maple and brown sugar? Or they'll try to guess, like, based on the sense of the room. But it's totally a teacher. I think it's a teacher thing.
I think you're right. Yeah, I love oatmeal in the morning, and I used to do instant oatmeal for the first 6 or 7 years in radio. That do the same thing, and I had my same bowl that I'd use, clean it out, and that another ritual.
14 years without deviation, though. That's 15 years, you said.
Yes. Well, our oldest is 14. So, yes, I would say about 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, my gosh. I love you guys.
Oh, thank you, Tina. Thanks for coming on. We're so happy you called in. I wonder, if you have a regular eating habit like that, and it's just for decades that's going on, that if you were to change it up, if it would mess with your system at all.
Yes.
I remember, I'm sorry to interrupt, Steve, but when Casey, when you went vegetarian for a while, maybe this is a different animal.
Yeah.
And then you had a hamburger, and didn't you throw up right after that?
There was probably a little bit of hangover involved in that throw up as well.
I didn't know that.
It wasn't just the meat.
It wasn't, no. So it was.
What the hell is in that hamburger?
It was graduation weekend, and my friend had worked at a not a convenience store, but a fast food chain. brought a whole bag of stuff, and I went to town. And I mean,
93.3 WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Marissa. Our next guest is a friend of our program, and he's got an event that you need to be made aware of that is taking place on Saturday. It's going to be at the Flyers Training Center in Voorhees, and you know him as a Philadelphia Flyers on-air analyst, and from our sister station, The Fanatic, Mr. Jason Myrtetus is joining us.
What is going on? I haven't been on a rock radio station in forever. 93.3 WMMR. Coming up.
Is that what I sound like?
No, not you. That's what I sounded like when I did. That's why I got fired.
Okay. Yours as what we would call in the business a puker?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I could puke with the best of them. Ooh.
Dude, there was a time in my life where I was a hardcore flamethrowing
We all were.
top 40 puker.
Trying to figure out who you are.
Totally.
Yeah.
Exactly. Took
Jason,
forever.
you were one of my first friends, I think, in this building when I first started working here in 05. Yeah. I
You don't have a lot of friends.
I don't. No, but I always like going down the hall. Listen, I love sports, right?
Yeah.
I love sports, and so when I had the opportunity to work at a company that had a sports station, I would go down there like a little jock sniffer that I am. But you were the one who gave me an audience down there.
Here, sniff my jock.
And I appreciate that.
I got a jock for you to sniff. Yeah, it doesn't smell good. Yeah, Harry and I would let you in and you come in and do the. I think you called us the friend because we were the only one that let you on our show.
Yeah. Your other coworker would never do that.
Well, listen, Jason is on to promote this charity hockey tournament. It's called a Cancer Warriors tournament. And for those who may not know, but Jason was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. How long ago was that diagnosis?
I was notified on December 22nd.
Wow.
So 3 days before Christmas. Hell of a gift, huh?
Yeah, right? No kidding. And so you've been going through chemotherapy and radiation treatment. You're near the end of your treatment, right?
Yeah, I did 4 months of chemo, basically January through April. And I began about 5.5 weeks ago, radiation, 28 total. I have number 27 after I leave here today, and number 28 will be on Monday.
And what do you know so far about your progress if you want to share that information?
Yeah, I've been very open about it. I had a very good response. What's deemed as a moderate response to chemo. The only thing that would have been higher would have been complete, which means I had no cancer. That was obviously going to happen. So I'm hoping that the radiation kicks the crap out of the chemo, or the cancer like the chemo did. And we're NED when we get our scans here in about 2.5 months.
So this event is going to help raise funds for your medical costs and all of that. So one of the things we were talking about off air is that you waited too long to go get checked out. You need to share that, and I'm sure you have already. But if you could share it with our audience, that'd be great.
For some reason, Preston, I was scared of the colonoscopy. You know, and I'm 53 years old. It's ridiculous, but I was sick for about 1.5 years and hiding it from everybody. So eventually, came up one morning. And I told my wife, "You got to take me to the ER," because I was in so much pain from just dealing with the side effects of the cancer that was in my colon. So. Go get a colonoscopy. Advocate for yourself. I know a lot of people go and they say they're having an issue. But the colonoscopy is the biggest nothing burger
totally.
procedure in the
Steve
world.
and I, how many? Steve, I've had at least 3, maybe 4 colonoscopies.
I had 2 within a period of like a couple of months because they just had a little. There was something that was wrong during this game. Nothing that caused me any problem. In fact, I got another dip into the propofol.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah. How about that sleep?
And you're cocooned. You're so, and it's these things. That. A lot of times, and this has been a big bane of my existence collectively, you terrify people with, you're better. No, don't take that approach. Take the approach that do something for yourself and the people that love you. The good news is a good portion of what you're going to go, and if you find something, you're going to find it early. You obviously had a bit of a delay, but we were talking, the prognosis is looking pretty good. And you want to advocate for yourself, but be encouraged. You have every reason to be encouraged by being proactive, and that can make a big difference.
Yeah, and listen, these are the lessons that I try to teach my kids, especially my son, right? And it's not because I'm smarter than him; it's just because I've made the mistakes. So the lesson right now is to the listeners, don't make the same mistakes that I've made.
Yeah, I got lucky because I denied it for 18 months, and when they did my diagnosis and staged me, I was stage 3B, L2 because of lymph node involvement, and M0. M0 is metastasis. I got lucky it didn't spread after all my denials. So I figured I got to go public with it and help people to not have to go through. You don't have to travel down the road that I'm on. You don't.
We were talking a little bit off air, Jason, about how great the care is in our area and the access to terrific doctors and facilities, and we really are lucky to live in a region where that happens, and you can get to places where you can get treatment and hopefully find a path to remission or cancer-free or a cure. But all of those things come at a cost. None of it's cheap, and the healthcare system in this country is a mess, as everyone knows. And so I think that's part of the reason why there's this event tomorrow night.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And my care team's been unbelievable. The Flyers, charities, and I partnered to donate $10,000 to my care team, the people at the chemo center. Those people are the unbelievable. They show up every day and deal with the people getting treatment. It's unreal to me. So they've been great. And my oncologist, Dr. Altman's been unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, I have a normal job now, I do a bunch of things. So, the cost of medical is quite high, and we're going to be there tomorrow at the Flyers Training Center all day. I think the championship's around 2:00, and it's a 3-on-3 tournament. What's better, for me, getting the game on the ice in the middle of summer when you don't have hockey? Come on, that's my safest place in the world, being in a hockey rink. So, I can't wait to be there tomorrow. I'm going to be there probably around 1:30 for the remainder of it, and make it as long as I can. But I just appreciate everybody that's involved in it. The station's giving away some great prizes to add to it, too, which is incredible. The support has been beyond humbling to me, and it's renewed my faith in humanity a little bit, because we live in this avatar egg world of social media. You don't know if that good people exist anymore, but you find out that they do.
Who's playing in the tournament?
There's all kinds of people. They put it in teams. Frankie's he's got a team in there, and men's leagues, they get guys together and they submit teams for these and have these 3-on-3 tournaments. And I would never play in one of these as a goalie, because it's probably way too much action and no defense.
Yeah. Are you a goalie?
I was.
Okay.
Yeah. I retired at 50.
Yeah.
Had enough.
There's no support in communities in the sports world, as far as I'm concerned, like the hockey support. And we had the Goudreaus in studio a few weeks ago, and what they went through is unbelievably awful and tragic, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But the support that they've seen is just remarkable around the league, from the Flyers, where the Gaudreau brothers never played, but they grew up here. For the team in Columbus, Calgary, etc. It really is, to me, heartwarming and encouraging to see the hockey community come together.
They're the best. And one of the guys that really supported them, and Guy Gaudreau brought him out to Flyers training camp last year, was John Tortorella. And he's been a huge support for me. He checks in with me all the time. And Torts doesn't text on you. I just want to see how you're doing. Yeah. No, it's, you got treatment tomorrow? I go, yeah. And he goes, don't F it up. Through Torts fashion, right?
Well, also being positive, being able to laugh, being able to be, again, if you're on the sideline, I want to repeat that. You have every reason to be encouraged. We live in an incredible time. We're on the precipice of so many great things. But right now, treatment is such that there are different ways of putting something into stasis or shrinking it down and then, surgically remove, whatever the variations are. And I've heard a lot of them, in my own experience. You need to just know that it's safe. You're doing something that's good for you, but also think about if it doesn't work for you because I don't know, think about the people, and I don't want to scare you, but that would hear the bad news, that love you, that this is around. And you can put an end to that by just going in and getting the checkup. You find something, but you're going to find it more than likely early and be able to take care of it.
Absolutely.
And that's the positive message to carry forward.
Yeah, had I gone 3 years earlier when I was supposed to, it may have just been a polyp at that time.
Yeah.
Not on this road feeling like crap and all that. So
if you want to get tickets, we have a link set up, WMMR.com/events. It's for Cancer Warrior hockey tournament. Is there another way people get tickets? Or
they can just go.
Okay.
You can just show up to it at the Flyers Training Center in Voorhees.
All right, so it's tomorrow starting at what time?
You can get there as early as 9 in the morning, and it'll go to about 3 o'clock.
And it's at the Flyers Training Center in Voorhees.
Yep, which they just recently redid.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
By the way, besides doing the pre-intermission, post-game, you do a daily podcast about the Flyers as well? Okay.
Yeah. In the off-season, I do it 3 days a week. Yep. 5 would be too much.
Yeah.
But during the off-season, we do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Flyers Daily.
Okay. They're going to get their crap together, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Ty coming in. I mean, it's been, Nick said a stat the other day that I didn't even realize. They haven't been in postseason in 5 seasons.
We haven't had a home playoff game here since 2018. Because the last playoffs they made was in the bubble.
Wow.
Yeah.
Think about that. Block parties wearing shorts to a hockey game.
Yeah.
You haven't done that since 2018.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. That should never happen.
I agree. And every season we feel Yes.
This is it.
This is it.
Great in November.
Yeah.
There are pieces there, and then you watch teams like the Panthers or the elites of the league, and you realize that the Flyers aren't there yet. But I am honestly encouraged by the direction that they're going. I think Danny Briere and Keith Jones know how to build something good, and I don't know what Rick Tocchet is like as a head coach. You probably know better than we do, Jason. So what are your thoughts?
I think he's a guy that is perfect for this team right now to develop them further, take the next steps. And they've taken a lot of players away over the last couple of years, subtracted, but haven't replaced them with equal to or greater players. They've with lesser, which is why you see what you saw. The hard part about a rebuild is this part, the taking away and sucking. Now the fun part begins. It's the building.
Yeah.
And that's where excitement comes in.
And so that's where I'm completely lost in this world because, Flyers made their 2 first-round draft picks. And so I read, and then I read the comments, and some people are like, yeah. And then other people are like,
there's a lot of scouts on Twitter, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah, tons of scouts. So I don't trust anybody, but I'll ask you, how'd they do?
Look, I'm no scout either. I'll admit it, but... I mean, Porter Martone, the 6th overall pick, this is a kid, he's a big boy. He's compared to Matthew Tkachuk, who plays for Florida, plays bully hockey, and that kind of way of playing. And the Jack Nesbitt, the 12th pick that they took, is a big, long center that it's maybe some comparisons to Sean Couturier there. We'll see. Yeah. He's got some work to do. He's a bit more of a project, but they're moving in the right direction. They're bringing in talent. They got Mishkov, who's incredible. Like, it's just ridiculous how skilled he is. And you had a guy like Zegras in the offseason, some more development from younger players. And I think they're moving in the right direction. I think that the ball starts to gather energy rolling down the hill rather quickly in the NHL, too. So if they can solve the goaltending issue, then they're going to be in a good spot. But that's a big
you're
question.
Retired,
yeah.
so.
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
They bring me in for practice to make everybody feel better. You guys are having trouble scoring? Here you go.
All right. Well, listen, Jason, good luck with everything. The treatment, obviously, and all that in your life, but also this event tomorrow. Cancer Warriors charity hockey tournament is going to be at the Flyers Training Center at Voorhees. And you can get by as early as you want to. It's going on majority of the day, and 3-on-3, and like you said, lots of raffle baskets. I assume there's lots of good Flyer stuff.
Oh yeah, there's great stuff there. I mean, there's beach houses that all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I mean,
that's heavy duty.
Yeah, it's gonna be. You got to get down to a game again this year. I haven't seen you down there in a while.
Definitely, absolutely. Great to see you, Jason.
You guys too. Thank you.
All right, Jason Myrtetus, guys. And like we said, the information is available at WMMR.com/events. I know we want to play a game. I have a game set up that we're going to play here for some stuff to give away. But you know what I forgot to do earlier?
I know exactly what you forgot to do.
We received a box of goodies.
Oh, that's right.
From a listener, and I've got to show it to you guys. Now, listen up. For a radio audience, I'll do my best to describe everything. If you want to pull up YouTube, you're going to love seeing this stuff. I've got it behind me. Give me just a second here to get it.
It's like you're doing an impression, Preston.
Yeah, I got to turn around and get it together. No, I opened this up yesterday in the office, and Steve was in there. I started showing it to him, and I brought it here in the studio, and I told Casey not to look, and I retaped it back up because I wanted to open this up on the air.
That got me excited.
So this was, it says on the box, to the Preston and Steve show, attention, Sharts and Crafts department.
Oh, all right.
So I have a shelf in the office that I have dedicated to the Sharts and Crafts, which are homemade things that listeners send to us. And if you want to, that's great. We love your creativity. It's fun.
You'll go into the museum.
And so I got a letter with this, and it is from Shannon and Ben. And it says, "Hey, bitches, good morning it from your favorite Baltimore podcasters. You're reading a few of my emails on air counts as your favorite, right?" So I guess I've read a couple of the emails. They go on to say, or she says, "I've been meaning to send some crocheted goodies since Preston created the Sharts and Crafts department, but I kept procrastinating. And then I started making things and kept coming up with even better ideas that I had to make. And now I'm upset that I waited too long and Kathy isn't there to enjoy the items that she inspired." And she says, like, her favorite animal, which we'll get to in a moment. So we'll have to share this with Kathy. I'll make sure that the items that are directed toward her that she gets.
To her, yeah.
So she says, thank you. Oh, it says, no Sharts and Crafts department is official without a formal sign. So I'm going to show this to you first.
Yeah.
This is a Sharts and Craft sign.
That's impressive.
That she crocheted.
Isn't that good?
It's black and green, and it says Sharts and Crafts, very large, and at the top says Preston Steve, and the bottom says 93.3 WMMR. So I'll find a place to hang this by the Sharts and Craft area.
It's perfect.
That is amazing. My daughter has taken up crocheting in the last half a year, and she's gotten pretty good at it. But this is next level stuff right now.
So she goes on to say, most of the other items are show references that I'm sure you'll get, but I added a cheat sheet just in case. So she says, thank you for the years of laughter and always making our day so much brighter.
So much brighter.
You've helped us both through some rough years working in public accounting. 9 years ago, Ben convinced me to give his favorite podcast the 1 week trial period, and then Steve sealed the deal with his masterpiece, the Pennsylvania song. Love you, Shannon and Ben. And she says, Ben gets credit for helping with ideas and mailing the box. So I'm going to pull out an item or two, and you guys tell me, and Steve has already seen a couple of these, what you think this is from on our show. In case you got it. It's a crocheted bee.
Nice.
Isn't that awesome? And it's got glasses on.
It's cute.
You know what? That also ties into he can't see without his glasses because Macaulay Culkin gets killed by bees.
That's right. Well done. Well done. All right. Anybody want to guess what this is?
Can't see without his glasses.
Anybody guess what this is?
Okay. Is that...
Looks like a rock.
It does look like a rock. Is that Groot?
I think this is a butt plug.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Yeah, right?
All right.
It's a crocheted butt plug.
All right.
All right. How about, hold on, there's 4 of these that I have to hold up. Hold on. I have to find the other one.
There.
Sorry about this,
There's
guys.
a big box full of stuff.
Yeah, it's very, okay, here it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, what do I have here? Okay.
Oh. Do you have big brown Guatemalan nipples?
It's not big brown. Think about the 2 different ones here.
Pink or brown?
Oh,
Pink or brown.
Oh, those are for Kathy.
So I got 4 boobies here.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And one has pink nipples and the other one has brown nipples. So that's pink.
And we know Kathy so well, she will totally display those on her couch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, they'll be on her door as you come in.
All right, what is this?
That's a dildo cactus.
I have 3 testicles.
Yes, I have 3 testicles. So it looks like a cactus in a pot, and dude, the cactus looks like a penis and has got 3.
That is amazing.
It's got 3 testicles.
Did she? I'm sorry, Preston. Did she say how long it took to do all of these?
No, she did not. It had to have taken a long time.
Yeah.
All right. What about these 2?
Oh, you put a bomb in a possum and you feed it to a shark.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have a crocheted shark and a crocheted possum,
and they look great.
It's awesome. Kathy's least favorite animal and Casey's least favorite animal.
You're right. Let me see. I'm running out of room here. All right. Some of these I'm not sure what they are. Like this one is just a bong.
It's a bong, and it looks great.
DBH.
Yeah,
DBH.
Yeah.
So that's our
Captain
DBH
Blackfingers
right there. And then she just put in some random ones as well, just like little tchotchkes that she made on top of that. And
Did you see the rainbow snake?
yeah, I don't know what that would be. I think that's just a random thing.
I love that.
I think this is a pipe. See the weed coming out of it?
A weed pipe. What's the octopus? We were trying to figure that out.
I don't know.
It's
So
just an octopus.
She named on all of these. Oh, wait. There's, okay, how about this? How about this one?
Oh, chili dog.
Chili dog, yeah.
Sucking on a chili dog.
Yeah.
She also said 3 items for Captain Blackfingers and Friends. So that's the bong and the pipe, and I don't know what the other one is.
Captain Blackfinger and Friends.
And Friends.
It's like the superheroes.
Right.
Is that weed?
No, I think that's.
Did she say there's a butt plug in there?
Yeah,
Okay.
and she also colored each one of these.
Okay.
Like she used marker to determine so we could match it with the color of the item. All right, now this one's kind of fun. You know what this is?
Well, that's our a gravestone for our old phone number.
Yeah, so it's a gravestone that says 215-263-WMMR on it. We don't have that number anymore. And how about this one? Now, I don't think she crocheted this. But no, she did, actually.
It's a cute teddy bear.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a big chubby bear?
Yes!
A
Yeah!
big chubby bear with a furry little tail.
Casey, you're right. That must have been a weed. That must be bud.
Okay.
And there's...
This is the butt plug.
Now that ain't a butt plug. This is a butt plug.
That's a sparkly butt plug.
That it
Well,
is.
you got to do it with some flair.
Sure.
And she also added 2 baby otters, she said in here. Last minute for you, Steve, but I don't. Oh, yeah, here you go. Here's a little baby otter right
That's
there.
awesome.
So that was just a really wonderful gift. I wanted to share that with you guys. And I want to thank very much Shannon and Ben for putting this together. And there's a bunch of other little, like I said, tchotchkes, she said, little things in here.
Do you know what I think we're getting to, honestly? I think we need to incorporate... We need to follow through with the museum aspect of it and make it perhaps get like, I have some of my Batman figures and stuff in the IKEA display cases. Maybe we need to put some of this out in the green room.
By the way,
Acme Lounge.
Here's the bomb that goes in the possum, and then you feed it to the shark. And by the way, she sent, Marissa, I couldn't open up on my computer this morning the link that you sent me. So there is a packing video that she did while she was putting all these items in here. So, you know what, we'll find a way to post this. Marissa, hang on a second. Yeah, go ahead.
She collabed with the show. I didn't accept it because it was going to be a surprise for on air. So if you head to our Instagram right now, Preston Steve, you will be able to see it.
And she's it shows her packing all these items in the box.
I love it.
I love that. Thank
That's
you.
awesome. Super talented.
That's really sweet.
Excellent.
You remember for a while we were asking people, there was the question about what could you send through the mail simply by putting postage on it?
Yeah.
And we were getting tons of stuff.
We had shelves of like coconuts, potatoes. We got a set of chuck nuts sent to us.
No box. You just put postage on it.
There are things you can literally put postage and an address on it, and they will mail it.
Yeah.
You don't need to pack it.
It was pretty amazing.
It was a lot of fun. I really did enjoy that one. All right. Speaking of fun, we have some things to give away, and I created a game to give these things away. In case we have, by the way, we're going to give away as prizes for this game tickets to see Fantastic Four.
Yes.
And the screening of this is going to be, or is this,
it's a screening, yeah.
July 23rd, 7 p.m. at AMC Cherry Hill.
Nice.
So it doesn't get in theaters until July 25th, so it's an advanced screening. Pretty awesome deal. We are going to play a little game, and I'm going to let Vince Vaughn set this up. So here it is.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
All right, we're going to play Just the Tip. Now, what the hell is that? I'll explain it to you. This is a tip or piece of advice from a famous person.
Mm-hmm.
I will read the quote from them, and then I will give you 3 choices for you to tell me who actually made that quote.
Okay.
All right, so it's called Just the Tip, and we're going to give you the tip only, and then I'll give you the names, actually, and then you will be able to determine, hopefully.
Yeah, you have a 1 in 3 chance.
Who had said that. And, it's win or lose, and then we move on to the next tip if we don't get a winner. So pretty simple stuff. We're going to go to our phone calls right now, and we do have Mike who's up first. Hey, Mike, how you doing, buddy? Gadzooks. All right, so I'll explain it again, Mike. Very simple. I'm going to read a tip or piece of advice from a famous person. I will give you 3 choices that you can choose from, obviously, and you tell us who you think gave us that tip. Sound easy?
Sounds good.
All right, here we go. Here it is. Never refuse an invitation. Never resist the unfamiliar. Never fail to be polite, and never outstay the welcome. Just keep your mind open and suck in the experience. And if it hurts, you know what? It's probably worth it. Now, was that said by Leonardo DiCaprio, Cal Ripken, or the Hawk Tuah girl?
DiCaprio.
That's correct. Yes!
Let me put it in a little bit. Just a tip.
You got it right, my man. Hang on the line. We're going to get you information, and we are going to set you up with a pair of tickets to see the Fantastic Four. And the screening is July 23rd, 7 p.m. at the AM Cherry Hill. Brought to you by Marvel Studios. Fantastic Four. First steps only in theaters, July 25th. All right, we'll go to another caller. We're playing Just the Tip, and we have Fred who's going to be joining us. Hey, Fred, how you doing, buddy?
Good morning, Steve. It is Dabby Dab's birthday.
YouTube. It's whose birthday?
Dabby Dabs on the YouTube chat.
Gabby Babs. You know what? Actually, I had a couple of shout-outs that I didn't get to, and I think somebody had mentioned that. Yeah, Dabby Dab. And it was Julie Jerkoff who sent
Julie Jerkoff sent that for Dabby Dab.
Shout out to her, and she says she hopes she has a fabulous day. So we're sending that out from the YouTube fam. All right. So, Fred, I'm going to give you a tip. You ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. Was that said by Bill Gates, Cato Kalin, or Joe Frazier?
Oh my God, that sounds like a Gates thing for sure.
That is correct, sir. You got it.
Let me put it in a little bit. Just a tip.
Got it right. Hang on. And we're going to give you a 4-pack of tickets. So you can take Debbie Dabbs and Julie Jerkoff and anybody you want.
Yeah.
An advanced screening of Fantastic Four, the first steps July 23rd, 7 p.m. at the AMC Cherry Hill.
Our YouTube channels are starting to sound like the Fat Albert kids.
Right. All right, up next is Melissa. Hi there, Melissa. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Wonderful. Melissa, we're playing a little game that we'd like to call Just the Tip.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
And here is your tip. Surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher. Okay, surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher. Was that originally said by Oprah Winfrey, Robert Kennedy, or Old Dirty Bastard?
Let's go Oprah.
She got it!
Let me put it in a little bit. Just a tip.
You got it, Melissa. Hang on. We're going to give you that 4-pack of tickets to see Fantastic Four, the first steps, July 23rd, 7 p.m. at the AMC Cherry Hill. And that movie doesn't open until 2 days after that, so it's an advanced screening. All right, up next, we have John. It's a quick-moving game, by the way.
I like it. We're moving product.
All right, John, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Hate to bother you guys at work.
It's all good, man. We're playing Just the Tip, and here is a tip from a celebrity. You need to tell me who it was. If you put out 150%, then you can always expect 100% back. That's what I was always told as a kid, and it's worked out for me so far. Was that originally said by Derek Jeter, Justin Timberlake, or Charles Manson?
Derek Jeter.
That is incorrect. Charles Manson. No, it was Justin Timberlake actually said that. All right, sorry, man.
These are
Gotta
all
let you-
good pieces of advice, good tips.
Yeah.
By the
Things
way,
to grow by.
I saw a video pop up on my Instagram algorithm the other day, and it was Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears, and I forgot what song they were singing together. It was it was a hit at the time, and they were little kids on the Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh, okay. You're going back that far.
And they were killing it.
Yeah.
I mean, they were way above talent level of kids at that age. And if you get a chance to go search out some of those Mickey Mouse Club performances from these guys when they were kids, you'll see why they're the stars.
Ryan Gosling was one of those kids.
Yeah, and he's a decent singer.
Yeah,
but I guess he had the acting chops and
That
good
was
looks
his
and
thing,
everything
yeah.
too. But it was pretty cool to see that. All right, we're gonna do another one, and we got Rich. We're gonna go to next. Hey, Rich. Good morning.
You guys rock.
Oh!
Thank you, Rich. We're playing Just the Tip. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Here's the tip. It isn't the mountains ahead to climb that wears you out. It's the pebble in your shoe. Was that originally said by Bono, Weird Al Yankovic, or Muhammad Ali?
Oh, man. Muhammad Ali?
That's correct, sir.
Let me put it in a little bit. Just a tip.
You got it, buddy. We're going to give you a 4-pack of tickets and the advanced screening Fantastic Four, first step, July 23rd, AMC Cherry Hill, and that will be at 7 p.m. All right, up next, we're going to go to Cindy. Hi there, Cindy.
Hey, good morning. Long time listener.
Oh.
First time caller.
Oh, and first time.
Thank you so much for listening, Cindy.
I've gotten through.
All right, let's try and get you to be a winner. You ready?
I'm ready.
Here's the tip. Never forget what took you a lifetime to learn. You have only one heart. Be true to it. Was that
My
said?
mother.
Was that said by Maya Angelou, Johnny Rotten, or Angelina Jolie?
I'm going to go with Angelina.
She got it.
Let me put it in a little bit. Just a tip.
I would have said Maya Angelou.
I would have said Maya as well.
Yep. All right. Hang on, Cindy. You get those tickets to see the Fantastic Four, the first steps. It's coming out on July 25th, but this screening will be at 7 p.m. at AMC Cherry Hill on the 23rd.
You want a fun fact? Both Maya Angelou and Angelina Jolie played Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
I did not know that. That's interesting.
Not the role, they played the game.
The game.
I heard a I heard a Maya Angelou clip the other day. I'm watching 9 Perfect Strangers right now, and I will mess the quote up, but it essentially just it says like I've never lived this day before. You know what I mean? Like every morning you wake up, you're like, oh, I never lived this day before.
Right?
Like what a gift it is.
May every meal you eat have a little squirrel.
Graham cracker squirrel.
Can we relive that moment?
Yeah,
This was earlier during the Connoisseur segment of what Casey had said.
But I do like me some graham crackers. So if there's a little graham cracker squirrel in there, I might be able to do that. You're welcome.
I loved it. All right. We got more callers online. I'm sorry for Sam and everybody in the room. This game is moving very, very quickly. 610-660-9333 is the number. We got a few more pairs of tickets to give away. So up next is David. Hi there, David.
Good morning to see you.
Good morning, David. All right. Here's your tip. A woman knows by intuition or instinct what is best for herself. Was that said by Marilyn Monroe, Gary Busey, or Joan Jett?
Marilyn Monroe.
That's correct.
Let me put it in a little bit, just a tip.
Yep, hang on, buddy. We are going to set you up. You have won, and we will indeed give you those tickets to see Fantastic for the First Steps on July 23rd, 7 p.m. AMC Cherry Hill. By the way, we have to find out from Michael Giacchino, speaking of the Fantastic Four, how that event went yesterday.
Yes.
It was at Hyde Park. We spoke to him yesterday from London as he was getting ready, and they were going to be performing music from the film at this event. So hopefully that went well. All right, we have more callers, and up next is, it doesn't say their name. Hi, caller, what's your name? Hi, you're on the air. What's your name?
Ted, how are you?
Ted, I'm awesome, buddy. You ready to play Just the Tip?
Bart'll do, bitches.
All right. Bart'll do. Here we go. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that in a world that's changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. Was that said by Mother Teresa, Mark Zuckerberg, or Jalen Hurts? Oh, hang on. Ted got put back on hold somehow.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
All right. Ted, we couldn't hear you. Now we can. So was that said by Mother Teresa, Mark Zuckerberg, or Jalen Hurts?
We're going to go with Jalen Hurts.
Nope. Mark Zuckerberg. Sorry, bud. Appreciate the call. All right. Up next is Julian. Hey, Julian.
Hi, it's Jillian.
Oh, Jillian. I'm sorry. All right. We have 2 of these left, and you get the next to last one. Here we go. If you're trying to achieve, there will be roadblocks. I've had them. Everybody's had them. But obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. Was that said by Michael Jordan, Brad Pitt, or Joe Exotic?
I'm going to go with Michael Jordan.
That's
We got it. 15 feet tall, the wall is really not an issue.
Hang on a second, and we will give you the tickets to see the Fantastic Four coming up on July 23rd at 7 p.m. at AMC Cherry Hill. All right, we have one more, and that is it. So
we're learning how to be better people.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. All right, we're going to go to somebody named Gunner. Hey, Gunner, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, bud. All right, so this is the last one. You ready to go?
Yep.
Yep.
I
guess.
All right.
Duh.
Here we go. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years. Was that said by Abraham Lincoln, Dolly Parton, or Macho Man Randy Savage?
Macho Man Randy Savage.
No.
Why would you do that?
It was Abraham Lincoln. Sorry, Gunner.
I don't think he wanted to win.
No, but they, in his defense, they were often.
He's like, those other
confused.
people weren't real.
I
Lincoln.
I put one in there that was an obvious no on
Well,
each
you
one of
think
those.
it was on
Lincoln, that's a made-up name.
But not for Gunner, so all right. Well, anyhow, did you guys like that game?
That was fun.
Yeah, excellent.
Perhaps play a little game called Just a Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
Thought we'd find a way to give some stuff away. So we'll do that again sometime, you guys. Like, it's a good way to move some product.
Yes, it is. It worked like a charm.
We did and do that. Real quick, I want to end on another shard out. I got this. It says, this came from Allison Lavery, and she wanted a shard out. It says, Bill Lavery, Interboro's coolest teacher this year, is turning 50 years old today.
Oh, my God.
And I want to give him a massive shart or shout out and for being the best husband and father and my best friend. We celebrated our 20th anniversary last month. She said he's a pretty cool teacher, too. And I hope he has or had the best birthday ever. We love you guys and your show and have been listening every morning during our morning routines and drives to work for decades at this point. You guys rock, and that's from Allison. So shout out, please.
Oh, yeah. I'm giving a good one.
Can you teach me?
All right, so congratulations and happy birthday.
You know what? I meant to do this earlier. Just a really quick shout out to my nephew, David. He passed his CPA yesterday.
Hey!
It's a huge deal.
He's officially a capa.
He's officially a capa, and not everybody can say that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, gang, we got a break to take. We're going to do that. We're going to come back in a second. We're going to share some bizarre file stories when we return. So hang out for a spell.
Really hungover that day, and I ate it, and I ended up throwing up out the window of my room.
If you do consistently take in a type of food at a certain time, you can jar your system. And I used to do it when I was like doing a lot more like powerlifting and stuff like that. I'm going to have this now, and it's going to rock my system.
Yeah.
It's just to flush your system, sort of, and your body goes, "What the hell is this?"
Right.
And it does happen.
I will go to Jeremy. There's a term here I've never heard before that he wants to use. Hi, Jeremy. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, it.
Good morning, buddy. All right, so this is your wife who has a regular, everyday thing to eat.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
For easily over 5 years, she wakes up, has a bowl of cereal, which has to be Cheerios.
Okay.
And then at lunch, she has road tuna. That's what she calls it.
Road tuna. Okay,
she keeps it in her car. It's just like a package of 5 crackers and tuna.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what time of year. She keeps that in her car, which is gross.
Yes, summertime.
Tuna in the car?
Yeah.
So does she use the cans or the packs of tuna?
So it comes in one big, in a little pack. It has 5 crackers in a package, and then a little tiny can of tuna.
Oh, a little can of tuna. Okay, all right, road tuna.
I dig this the packs, and they have buffalo.
Yeah, they have a bunch of different flavors.
I love
those. You
those.
can get like Italian
Yeah.
or lemon and pepper.
Man, they're good.
Interesting, Jeremy.
Road tuna, I love that.
I'm not familiar. That could be a band name, Road Tuna. I'll consider that. Thank you. Let's go to Joe. Hi, Joe. Good morning, sir. Gadzooks, my man. All right, so there's something that you've ritualistically eaten for years, right?
So I wasn't completely honest on the phone.
Okay.
Because I was kind of embarrassed by it. But hearing other people, I guess I'll admit it. I've been eating cheese pizza for 30 years.
30 years.
So I'm 36. It started when I was in kindergarten. That's all I would eat for lunch. And the kids knew me as Pizza Joe. So,
Oh, my God.
if anybody's listening, yeah, Pizza Joe still eats
Pizza Joe's still around.
Pizza
man.
Joe.
And he's still eating pizza. So this is every day without fail.
Yeah, so I obviously I work now. I just eat pizza in my car. There's probably nobody has seen me not eat pizza. I'm a large man.
You're a large man. All right, Joe, are you?
I know I need to stop. I tried to stop and literally had like panic attacks from I need my pizza. Like,
oh my God,
It's been your friend since kindergarten.
All right, couple of questions here, Joe. Does it matter where you get the pizza from? What who makes it?
No, just as long as there's cheese, no topping.
Okay. Does it bother you that you have this kind of this compulsion, this chain to eat only cheese pizza?
It did, and then everything else in the world, I just went, you know what? I'm eating pizza and living life.
All right. Do you still like it?
Yeah, but
wait, Joe, do you still like it as much as you always have?
Yeah, sometimes I'm eating it though, and I'm just looking like, what the hell am I doing?
Okay, all right, interesting.
Pizza's the one thing I can see, like, it's always good. And even when it's not that good, it's still pretty good, as they say. So pizza, and also the different types of pizza. But you said 30 some odd years, Joe?
36 years. Yeah.
36 years.
Well, no, I guess that wouldn't be right, because I started at 6 and I'm 36.
Okay, so about.
Listen, and I'm really going to recommend this. If this really bothers you, you need to You need to reach out to Dr. Rosenpenis, Dr. Rosenberg. Sorry, Rosenbaum. I always said.
We're so used to penis.
We are used to penis.
Our hypnotist, and maybe he can help you out.
Maybe. If I could do a quick story. When I was in school, the cafeteria, would have pizza. So on the card one day, it said pizza was for lunch. So I didn't bring my pizza in, and it wasn't pizza that day. It was like hot dogs.
Oh, no.
What happened?
This was 6th grade, so I broke down crying. And you'd think kids would make fun of me, but they were super supportive kids. They were like, well, yeah, it's Pizza Joe. You didn't get pizza for Pizza Joe?
They knew you as Pizza Joe, and they rallied. Kids who can be very cruel rallied to your support.
So I literally just ate the hot dog buns.
Oh, my God.
The closest thing to pizza
with
you can get.
ketchup on them.
Joe, I feel terrible for you, man. That's actually a little bit traumatizing.
Yeah, I have to talk to a hypnotist.
Hey, hang on, though. Wouldn't it be wild if Dr. Rosenpenis, though, changes it to calzones every day?
Right. like a different version of pizza.
Joe, do you only eat pizza? That's all you eat?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's all.
Okay, so besides the lunch meal, your dinner
is pizza too?
If I go out to somebody offers me out to dinner or something, I will stomach something else, but I'll get the smallest portion because I don't want to eat it.
Okay,
all
right.
This is like going back to being a parent and not letting your kid have pizza and chicken nuggets and making them eat their vegetables.
I mean, I love my parents, but that's literally what it was I was a picky eater, and they said, well, here's pizza and cheese, and it's just been that for years.
I know the parents will sometimes, and you're advised to sort of acquiesce, and maybe, guys, you have kids, I don't, but like I said, my neighbor over in Manayunk, her daughter ate Go-Gurt and chicken nuggets.
Yeah, you can't force stuff on kids.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if it tastes bad, it tastes bad to them, By the way, Joe, Marissa wrote down this question. Are pizza Lunchables acceptable?
That's disgusting. Get out of here.
It's an aberration. I love the story of Pizza Joe.
I feel a little bad for you, bud.
Yeah.
Hang on a second here, Nick.
Joe, I mean, do you feel like you're missing out? Because pizza is wonderful. There's no doubt about it. But there's a lot of other great foods out there.
I guess I am missing out.
Let me. For you, Joe, there are so many different types of pizza and ways to prepare pizza that you could kind of exist in that realm if you were to perhaps throw some chicken on it now and then, just for a little bit more protein and stuff like that. So
transition that way.
You've never varied the menu, and toppings are a no-go for you, right?
No, I don't like the toppings.
Okay.
It honestly will make me gag.
Wow. Okay.
I assume does tomatoes have vitamin C in it? Because otherwise he's going to have scurvy, man. I mean,
surprisingly, pizza is actually fairly good nutrition-wise. It's actually fairly good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. That's a really interesting story. Thanks for sharing with us. All right.
All right.
And from here on out, we'll know you as Pizza Joe. There's no other.
All right.
Pizza. Right. Wouldn't you love to see from Touchstone Pizza Joe?
Pizza Joe.
Yeah.
A heartwarming story that starts off kind of tragic. I could see that. Yeah.
Eat your pizza, or they'll all laugh at you.
Oh no.
Tomatoes have vitamin C and potassium.
Okay. Well, there you go. So he's getting his nutrients. Okay.
I mean,
God, he would take them over to Lorenzo's.
Protein from cheese. Oh, I'm sure, dude. Joe's probably, if he knows Lorenzo's, if he's eating nothing but cheese pizza, I would imagine. All right, well, listen, thank you for your calls. Thank you for those of you who are on hold. I apologize I didn't get a chance to get to you, but quite interesting.
Yeah.
The calls that we got. And you know what? Let's give away Philly Pretzel Factory.
Yeah.
Gift cards. On the heels of that food conversation, I have a $25 gift card, number 18 at 215-263-WMOR. The big game needs some big snacks. No game day is complete without a party tray from Philly Pretzel Factory. If you're hosting or heading to a party, order your party tray from PhillyPretzelFactory.com today. So let's take care of you. Give us a call right now. We'll be back, and Bizarre Files on the way. Behind the weekend. It's unclear how much the hacker demanded. I thought this might be kind of nice to examine a little bit and maybe open this up to you, since you are most likely on the way into work this morning, to let us know something about what you do that everybody needs to know. And to give you an example, there's a lot of good ones on this list, and I'll lead with this one. This is what you and the people that work in your industry understand, but the people who don't work in your industry probably need to know. And
I love stuff like this.
This first one is from emergency room workers. It says emergency rooms are not first come, first serve business. We triage you for a reason, and you cannot cut the line in front of somebody with a more serious complaint just because you got here first. And listen, I have been in that situation where you sit in the emergency room for eternity, and you're like, I got here before them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just because his head was cut off?
Right.
Wow.
But you may not know what's going on with that person,
don't know.
and they need to get in there.
We went into it was a CHOP emergency room. It wasn't down in the city. It was actually the one out in King of Prussia, and it was a 3-hour wait. And as we were sitting there, it was when Jace. I think we talked about it. You guys remember? Jace got poison ivy, and it was like spreading on his body. Like, I mean, I was like watching it spread. It was everywhere. So we walked in, and they were like, "Okay, it's going to be a 3-hour wait." And then I went back up, and I'm like, his eyes were swollen. I'm like, it's all over. Like, how do we not know it's in his throat? And they were like, okay, come on back. Like, I think the second I thought, like, I mentioned, like, could it affect the breathing or whatever?
Right.
And we went right back. But I remember, like, the poor other kids in the waiting room, like, looking at when I walked out, I'm like, they're probably like, these freaking people. Like, they went right back. But she's like, we have to check them to make sure.
Should have walked out
and
said, say it's affecting your breathing.
Yeah. Say it's affecting your breathing.
So feel free to call and let us know. Here's another example. An airport worker, and this says, yes, your flight is in fact delayed due to weather. Yes, I also understand it's a gorgeous day here and at your destination airport. What you don't understand is that the airplane is coming from New York, and they had weather there. So, while it might...
On 93.3 WMMR.
Alrighty then, we can do one more bizarre file.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by the Jug Handle Inn. And you can catch the best food, best drink specials, and the action of all the games at the Jug Handle Inn in Cinnaminson. So come for the famous Jug Handle wings, but enjoy so much more online at thejughandleinn.com. 2 men were arrested and another was injured after the suspects allegedly cut the line at a Pokemon card sale in California, sparking an all-out brawl that ended in a stabbing.
I'm going to kill you.
Pokemon fans and scalpers lined up bright and early outside a GameStop in the town of Colma on Saturday for a highly anticipated restock of the franchise's coveted trading cards. All it took was one wrong step, and suddenly 3 men were fighting on the sidewalk. One of the suspects, 49-year-old Miguel Orleans Flores, tried to cut the line to buy the Pokemon cards. The unidentified victim, who was wearing a black hoodie with the franchise's famed unofficial mascot Pikachu on the front, confronted him, as captured in a video. Flores said, "I apologized and everything," while another man tried to push the victim away. The victim said, "Nah, get your hands off me." Victim lunged to try and reach Flores before pivoting and smacking 27-year-old Isaiah Calles across the face. Flores and Calles pounced on the victim and allegedly shoved him to the ground while frantic bystanders tried to intervene. The kids are watching, one woman shouted as she set her belongings down and tried to pull them apart. All 3 men scrambled back to their feet, throwing blind punches until they collapsed in a pile on the ground. Somewhere in the mix, Flores grabbed a mason jar and smashed it on the back of the victim's head. Calles meanwhile, reached for one of the shards and allegedly stabbed the victim multiple times. Dude, they're breaking bottles and stuff and fighting.
You remember they had a brawl at a Costco because they released a special edition Pokemon series.
The two men fled the scene in separate vehicles, but the victim was somehow still aware enough to obtain photos of their cars with the license plates included.
Dude, can you imagine you have one of these events, you have to hire security?
Right. Flores and Calles were both arrested, and they were charged with assault with a deadly weapon. Man.
He's wearing got Pikachu on his shirt.
All right, so a family business, this is in London, by the way, a family business has regained its van after it was trapped in a central London parking lot for nearly 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Steve Davies and Mark Lucas collected the vehicle from the Rathbone Square's mechanical stacking car park on Thursday afternoon. Mr. Davies said that he was glad to finally have the van back. But the HCS Furniture's coffers are now fairly low after spending about $90,000 renting and then buying a new van. So the BBC has seen an email that confirmed other trapped vehicles will be released over the next month. One resident told BBC London up to 40 vehicles were trapped in the stack. A stacked car park is a system in which cars are parked on top of each other using mechanical platforms and lifts to make the most of the available space. The email which set out the step-by-step guide to vehicle retrieval said the car stacker will remain closed to allow owners to retrieve their vehicles. Mr. Davies said the resolution had been a long time coming after his van became trapped in December of 2022.
So did the stacking device stop working?
You know what? I don't really know, Steve. Mr. Davies and Mr. Lucas have been concerned the battery of their electric van did not work, but Mr. Lucas said it fired up and had enough juice to drive itself out.
After 2 years?
Yeah.
That's pretty miraculous.
Derek Millard-Smith, a solicitor specializing in parking law, said as well as any direct monetary costs incurred, owners may be able to claim for the inconvenience caused and loss of enjoyment of their vehicle.
Inconvenience. Wow. Without your car for 2 years plus, that's an inconvenience.
That's insane. This is a horrible story. A newly engaged couple were killed in their wine cellar after melting dry ice built up a lethal amount of carbon dioxide.
Yeah. God.
Wine lovers Deborah Putzka-Tucci and Kevin Willis, both in their late 60s, were found dead after neighbors called 911 to their home in the ritzy River Oaks area of Houston.
What you talking about, Willis?
Firefighters noticed the fumes soon after they arrived and needed respirators to enter the cellar where the bodies were discovered.
It was dense.
Tucci and Willis were selecting wines for one of their frequent parties, this time for Independence Day, when they were overcome by the deadly gas. There was dry ice being stored in the cellar, and when dry ice melts, it turns into carbon dioxide. The wine connoisseurs frequently posted photos of themselves at tastings, vineyards, tours across the country and in France and Italy. Tucci, a lawyer and accountant, posted dozens of photos of her wine collection to social media. Friends mourned the couple who were active in the local social scene and regulars at the Houston Rodeo, where they had royal seats, whatever that is. But carbon dioxide can replace oxygen in closed spaces, creating an oxygen-deficient environment. So, I mean, it's not deadly on its own. If that's all you're breathing, you essentially suffocate.
Excuse me, it's like that cave that you mentioned where people go in and they don't have any idea that that's the case, and then they die because you can't. It's not like you're going to catch it before it takes control, you know?
Speaking of that, 12 Turkish soldiers died after being exposed to methane gas while searching a cave in northern Iraq.
Oh, man.
At least 19 personnel were exposed to the gas during the search and clear operation on Sunday and immediately taken to the hospital. By Monday, 12 of them had died. Methane gas, also not directly toxic, but can be deadly as it can become suffocating, especially in tight enclosed spaces. It remains unclear why the cave contained enough methane gas to make it lethal. The soldiers were searching for the body of a soldier who was killed in gunfire in May 2022 during Operation Claw Lock, which is a military operation led by Turkey against militants from the Kurdish Workers' Party in Iraq, which included airstrikes on caves as well as ground incursions. So, wow, messed up. All right, we need a lighter story to end with, and we will use this one. A Delta Airlines flight from Atlanta to San Diego was diverted to Texas on Saturday after an unruly passenger began removing clothing and had to be restrained.
Oh, might be meth.
Rodlin Coopersmid said that she was returning home to San Diego when a passenger started screaming and taking off his shirt. She said he kept saying, I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to see my family. She believed the passenger may have been under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Other passengers who were sitting closer to the unsettled man attempted to restrain him before the flight attendants arrived. After about 30 minutes of trying to keep him calm and about 2 hours into the flight, an employee announced over the loudspeaker that the plane would be diverted to Dallas-Fort Worth. Video shows 4 law enforcement officers boarding the plane and escort the man off.
Which one's the naked guy?
Well, his hands were restrained with yellow plastic ties. The witness said the man did not appear to be resisting arrest and
I'm
left
fine now.
the plane without incident.
I'd like a bag of salted nuts if you have them.
So after they landed it, the plane sat for about an hour and a half, and then they took off. And then that is what I have in today's Bizarre File. All right, as we take a break, I want to remind you to stick around because we are going to get to the lesson question, the trash, and the music news when we return. And we're going to give away our Word of the Week prize in a little while, too, so you don't want to miss on that as well. We'll be right back, so stay with us. Like, why isn't this? Come on, there's a reason for it.
I also
by the way, 215-263 WMMR, the number.
I also want the things we're told that aren't necessarily true. The way they manage, the way they manage and meet our expectations.
What about when Marissa and I flew back from Chicago and they were like,
"Oh, right,
we don't know where your pilot is."
Yes.
Oh,
shouldn't you at least have a general idea? Is he in the States?
Yeah. If you need us, we'll be at the bar.
And that's where you find the pilot.
Here's another one from a photographer. It says, no, I can't grab your iPhone and take a picture to match my best studio works, even if it's the most recent model of an iPhone. Also, yes, I do charge money just to take a picture.
That's great.
There was, here's Nick. This will speak to you and Andrea because she's an artist, your girlfriend. This one, and I sent you a chain of emails from people who are trying to get free stuff from artists. It says, this one says, pencils are expensive. Prints are expensive. Proper paper is expensive. And it takes a lot of time to do a painting. So, no, I can't give it to you for free for exposure. Yeah. Because that's the thing. People beg artists, look, I'll post it on social media. I'll plug this and so on and so on. And they want free stuff from artists all the time.
Artists of all types, too. I mean, musicians, painters, sculptors, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's like, we'll put it out there. We'll give you exposure, and that's enough to pay you. Well, no, I need to get paid for my time and my work.
There's one time where that will hold water when they don't pay halftime performers at the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Because, you're legitimately getting exposure.
If you're Snoop Dogg, it's cool.
All right, let me get some calls here. I'm going to go to Janet, who is an ER nurse. Hi, Janet. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful. Janet, what is it that people need to know about your line of work?
Just because they come in on a stretcher with an ambulance does not mean that they're automatically going to get a bed in the emergency room. They may still go out in the waiting room.
Okay. There were a couple of texts that came in saying that just because you take an ambulance doesn't mean that you're going to be seen before everyone else.
I think I would assume that if I came in, that they transported me in an ambulance, that they were going to get me right in.
Yeah. We've had patients that leave, go across the street, call an ambulance, and come in
because they think
they'll get a bed in the back.
Wow.
And they've been waiting in the waiting room.
Gosh.
And we'll recognize the name and be that. No, doesn't happen like that. You go to the bottom of the list, back out in the waiting room you go.
Wow.
So Janet, if to Kathy's point, if someone were to say, I think I'm having breathing problems, I mean, not that we're trying to have you betray the confidences, but would that accelerate their consideration?
It may, but
All
they also are triaged by a qualified nurse that is going to be able to decipher most times whether they're really having breathing problems or they're faking it.
All right, Janet. Well, if you guys ever need help, I'm pretty good with the trach. And if you guys ever get backed up,
you don't want to pretend that you have some kind of a symptom that you don't really have. It's just going to head you down a path.
I had them laugh in my face.
Surprised.
Yeah, when I talked about pregnancy pains, Preston.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Let me go to, I have Mike, who is a police officer. Hey, Mike, good morning.
Gadzooks, guys.
Gadzooks, buddy. What's up, man?
So we've all seen a police officer pull up to a light, a traffic light, without his lights on, turn his lights on, go through, turn his lights back off. And everybody assumes they're just abusing their power, driving through the light to get through the light. That's absolutely not true. That 100% of the time they're responding to a medium priority call.
Okay.
Where They don't need their lights for the entire response, but they don't have, the time to wait at the traffic lights.
Yeah. And by the way, and speaking of that, a police officer is sitting in their car all day long.
Yeah.
Why would they pull up to a light and go, man, I got to get through this light right now? Come on!
Yeah. What's medium priority, officer?
Things like maybe domestic that's not in progress, a fight not in progress, or, something like that, a verbal altercation, things like that.
What about like a security alarm?
Those are most of the time are reduced speed calls where we don't use our lights. We get hundreds of those a week.
Oh yeah.
How often do you get the question of do you have a quota for writing speeding tickets?
Every day.
And do you have a quota?
That's absolutely illegal.
Right. All right.
Quota.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it, man. Take care. Thanks for the call.
That's a good one. I mean, we've all seen it. And I'm like, well, where's that cop going?
Right, yeah. What's that? Well, I want one of those.
Probably going someplace to write up quota tickets.
Here is a text says, teachers work on average between 45 and 60 hours a week, depending on their position, but do not get paid overtime. We also don't get paid to not work over the summer. We get paid for 10 months, or we can choose to spread that out over 12 months, resulting in smaller but more frequent paychecks.
So how does that work? So they get one flat fee, and they can opt to take that summer break, or they can just get a continuous check at a lower rate of pay.
Listen, if your salary, let's just say, is $60,000, you can choose to get that paid over 10 months
or 12
months.
Can you choose to get it paid over 1 week?
All right, let me go to some other callers with your industry. This is what people in your industry know, but people who are not in your industry, you feel should know. I'm going to go to Chris, who is a mover. Hey, Chris, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. What's going on?
Yo, bud. I hear your story. What's up, bud?
Yeah, so being in the moving industry, every customer always assumes that they can see and know what fits through what doors and walls.
Okay.
And pretty much every time I'm forced to carry whatever object up, and it never fits.
So everyone, and I think you're probably right, because I end up being sort of the furniture mule for a lot of friends, moving stuff, and you're exactly right. And you, over time, you build up a knowledge of, I can see this, I can see that, it's not going to work, but everyone still thinks, hey, at least give it a try, right?
Yeah, I guess.
No matter what it does to your back or whatever, just go for it.
All right, Chris. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Guys.
That's a hard-working gig right
Absolutely,
there.
man.
I will go next to Jake. Hey, Jake, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Gadzooks.
Gadzooks to you. Jake here, it says you're a music therapist.
Yes. So, honestly, I feel like a lot of people probably don't even know that that's a career.
Yeah.
The people that do sometimes assume that, like, oh, you make a playlist and put it on an iPod? That's pretty cool. No, that's not at all what I do. No, I go in with my guitar, or I got a piano. I work mainly now with children, and I'm working on communication goals. So it's a very real career that a lot of people probably just don't even know about.
Yep.
Wanted to give a little plug to it.
So do you, and so we have a friend of the show, he and his daughters, Michael and his daughters, Emma, and she is... she's using music as therapy, and
Absolutely.
It seems to be yielding incredible results. Do you find that, Jake?
Absolutely. The kids I work with now just absolutely come alive. Like some of these kids can't really talk or communicate otherwise, and music provides them with a way to express themselves and just have a great time and socialize with their friends, all that good stuff.
So we've often heard it said, and I've seen it in practice, where people who have a stutter, if they sing or if they use music, can get over that. Is there a similar process? Does that work as well with people on the spectrum?
Absolutely. It's like a way of kind of using meter to like regulate speech and all that kind of good stuff. It's just it's really, really cool. And my
awesome.
Girlfriend's actually my girlfriend's a speech therapist, so we love to trade tricks back and forth.
Oh, very cool. Well, you do good work. You do noble work.
All right. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate it. All right.
Thanks,
so these are things you think people should know about your industry. I like this one. This says, I work in biomedical research. The most frustrating thing is that people seem to think that there's one cure for cancer and that the government or big pharma are hiding.
Yeah.
That is such an ignorant statement. Cancer is a collection of hundreds of diseases. Do you really think it is possible to have one cure for hundreds of diseases?
Do you know people who think that?
Why can't they find a cure for cancer? I mean, that's a standard phrase.
Yeah.
We also know
it goes on to say, hang on a second, Casey. It says, I work in biomedical rocks. Gotcha. Counting Crows, Mr. Jones. 18 minutes after 10 a.m. Today being Friday, and no sad bro. Warm today. High near 90 degrees, 88 or so. Yesterday was a nice break. It was a little cooler, a little more comfy. It was like 82 degrees when I got home. I'm like, I can deal with this.
Do you know it was also refreshing, Preston? I said this to Claire about 6:30, 7 o'clock last night. I said, this is the first night we've had in a while without titanically horrific lightning storms during dinner.
A little lower humidity, too. So partly cloudy skies today and high 88, 89, partly cloudy tomorrow, and then afternoon thunderstorms on Sunday. Monday might bring some straight up T-storms through the day. So
T-boomers.
T-boomers, if you will. All right, lesson question time. We are going to give away a pair of tickets as MMR Rock Steel Panther Thursday, September 11th at Music Fest Cafe in Bethlehem. And the question, Nick, I'm going off the board.
Oh, man.
So I pulled up a question here. Nick compiles the questions for lesson question, but every now and then I throw one in that I like. And I got to go with this. What kind of graham cracker animal is Casey a fan of? 610-660-9333. Let's see if you know that. What kind of graham cracker animal is Casey a fan of? 610-660-9333. Call if you know the answer. We'll do the trash while you're getting through.
The trash business is a gold mine.
93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Roy Rogers.
Oh,
the legend
the cowboy
returned. Roy Rogers is back in the area with their newest location in Cherry Hill. Download the Roy's Reward app and you can get a free sign-up bonus, Roy Rogers Beef Burgers Chicken. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, Preston, the late Gary Coleman's ex-wife, Shannon Price, reportedly failed 2 lie detector questions concerning Coleman's death. In addition, Price was deceptive when answering the more provocative question, how often did Gary go up on you?
Wow.
Hey! Wow. A wheelchair-bound Michael Caine, this is all true, spotted having lunch with Vin Diesel at a cafe in London. Diesel told paparazzi he considered Caine family, while Caine said he honestly believed Diesel was a talking gorilla.
Oh, my God.
And finally, former Hasbro CEO Alan G. Hassenfeld, whose family founded the iconic toy company, is dead. In honor of his legacy, the mortician working on Hassenfeld will use nothing but pieces from a Mr. Potato Head. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, we're looking for a winner. We need to know what kind of graham cracker animal Casey's a fan of. And caller in first is Renee. So we will go to Renee. Hi, Renee. Good morning.
Good morning, Preston.
All right, Renee, do you know what kind of graham cracker animal Casey is a fan of?
Graham cracker squirrel.
Absolutely correct. Hang on, Renee. You are going to get tickets to see one of our favorite bands, Steel Panther. Thursday, September 11th, there at Music Fest Cafe in Bethlehem. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Really? Yeah. Powered by PGW. Philadelphia Landlords. Register your residential property in the Landlord Cooperation Program with PGW, and you may not be subject to a lien on that property. Learn more about how to register your rental property at pgworks.com. Just have a couple things for you. We'll start with this. Boy, this was huge yesterday. Paul McCartney, Sir Paul, announced his first North American tour in 4 years yesterday.
Wow. I have to imagine you're going to go, right?
Well, they're not coming to Philly. So.
I heard the rumors that they were.
No, so as of now, the Got Back Tour is what it's being called. 19-date tour of arenas and a few stadiums, going to kick off September 29th in Palm Desert, California, with dates including Las Vegas, Minneapolis, Atlanta. The one that's closest to us is Pittsburgh. That's on November 11th. There's one, and that's like a Wednesday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, so I can't do that.
Yeah. Camp out for hunger.
But there is a Saturday show, I think the 8th in Columbus. You can do that. Columbus is not that far, really.
Ladies and gentlemen, a long-time friend of mine, Penny night.
Be a quick flight, but maybe. So,
All right, what day of the week is October 11th? I think that's the one you should go to if it's on a weekend. I'm looking.
Denver.
That's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday night.
Saturday in Denver, man.
And the week prior, October 4 is in Vegas. You know, if you want to make a road trip out of going to see a legend,
maybe so.
Off that Monday.
Could you imagine if he did the Sphere?
No, that'd be amazing.
Holy hell, with all that like Peter Max stuff and all they could throw up on the screen.
Totally. They could go to town with some amazing Beatles imagery for that. Tickets go on sale next Tuesday, 10 a.m. local time, by the way. So
wow.
Get your old tickets. I got this handwritten note. It says, Presbo.
Dear Presbo.
Could you please mention this in rock news?
Could you please mention this in rock news?
We do music
It would be
news.
very affectatious. Oh!
That picture of him, of Jackie Bam Bam, you see it when you go on our website. It's the face that he's making
He's the
from
best.
that segment when he was giving us the letter of the day. I just, I love it. Electrocution.
One of a kind.
All right, so anyhow, tonight in Atlantic City, he writes, at Hard Rock, Jackie Bam Bam will be hosting our dear friend, the golden voice of the babies in bad English, Mr. John Waite, with Rick Springfield and Paul Young.
That's a terrific show.
And Wang Chung. Tickets will be available at the box office and hardrock.com as well. Come dressed to impress. It will be a PBS TV taping as well. And he writes, thanks so much, XOXO.
Very excited for him. Yeah. Jackie's well respected in the rock world.
They love him.
Yeah.
The bands love him. And so that'll be tonight. But yeah, that's a cool lineup, man. John Waite, Rick Springfield, Paul Young, and Wang Chung.
I freaking love Wang Chung, too.
I would have a blast with that one.
I think that Dance Hall Days is a better song than Everybody Have Fun Tonight.
I don't disagree. They're both really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what song I even like is the theme they did for To Live and Die in L.A.?
Oh, yeah?
Great song.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
great song.
I love that song.
Yeah.
They'll probably do all three tonight.
Those are the only three I know from them.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
That's about it.
yeah. Thanks for coming.
Bring Jackie out again. Have him say kayak.
All right, and then finally, I'm going to plug this show one more time. It's a charity event on Sunday. I'm a part of this. It's at Union Transfer, and it's Martha Graham Cracker and Friends, and it's a celebration of the 40th anniversary of Live Aid. Pierre Robert will be there, too, I've been told. And I'm actually going to get up and play I'm going to play a song. I'm the Phil Collins. They're bringing me in as a guest drummer to kind of mirror what took place in all those years ago in Philadelphia. So I am going to play a Led Zeppelin song. We're going to do our own version of it, but you got to come out and see.
I think it's cool. I mean, it's
the show.
It was talking to Victor Fiorello, in the articles that he's written for the Philly Mag concerning that, and they're available now. But the history is so rich, and so many stories are just amazing. And it's cool to acknowledge it.
Yep, absolutely. And don't expect much from me. I haven't rehearsed with the band. I've been practicing at home.
You'll be great.
A version, so we'll see. But
don't
it
do
should be
that to
fun.
yourself.
I'm looking forward to it. And they're a great band, and I love sitting in with great bands, so it'll be a good time. That's Union Transfer this Sunday. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7. There's a DJ ahead of time, and hopefully we'll see you there for this cool charity event. And it's raising funds for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society because Martha Graham Cracker had leukemia and lymphoma and is getting past all that.
Yes.
All right, that's the last bit of music news. We will take a final break. Come back in a second. Letter of the day, word of the week prize, and we'll give it to, hopefully, you. So stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment. It's the same thing over and over. All right, go ahead, Casey.
So I was going to say, obviously we know that Big Pharma makes big money, and
there's some issues there.
But my brother is a chemist, and there is also a lot of wasted money, right? So my brother was researching and trying to come up with literally a cure for cancer, and they would spend months, if not years, on reactions, and then they would get to that final testing stage, and it turns out it didn't work, and everything that they did is scrapped, and they have to start from square one, and that is happening every day, all over the country. And so there's a lot of wasted money. And I don't want to say wasted money, but there's a lot of, wasted
you also
research.
have office parties and things. that they require a lot, too, like pizza parties.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, a cure for a cancer, right? A type of cancer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And have they cured cancers along the way? Are the ones that used to exist but don't any longer that they have cures for?
Like Dr. Mike says, we're living in amazing times right now.
So they
cancer
do?
Treatment. Well, I mean, like he says, and Michael say, no one need ever die of thyroid cancer. No one need ever die of prostate cancer.
Right.
You know, and a lot of that is also early detection.
I'm going to go next to Jesus, a truck driver. Jesus, good morning.
Oh my goodness, I love that.
What's up, man?
All right, as a truck driver, there's two things.
Yeah.
These cars, they tend to switch lanes without signaling in front of you and braking. We haul 80,000 pounds. We cannot stop.
Yes.
On the dot. And there were countless times that I almost hit other cars because of situations like that.
Jesus, in a fully loaded truck, how long does it take you to come to a full stop if you're traveling at 40 miles an hour?
For 45, I'm going to say 55 miles an hour, like on a turnpike, for example, where there's hardly any vehicles.
Right.
Half a football field.
Wow. Some people don't realize that.
Yeah.
Also, like I feel like I get nervous with truck drivers. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Excuse me, can I get over? Like,
So we all know trucks don't have that acceleration that cars do, but what you might not be thinking about is the stopping ability.
Right.
So that's what Jesus wants people to know.
Exactly.
They can't.
And that's one more thing. The right side of the cab, there's a huge blind spot.
Yep.
And cars tend to ride on that side, and sometimes I cannot see vehicles on that side in my mirrors, and I have so many mirrors.
Right. And I've read signs on trucks that say if you can't see my mirrors, I can't see you.
Can't see you.
Absolutely.
So
exactly.
That's what I always try to keep in mind. If I'm near a truck and I can't see the mirror, I try to get in a position where if I'm going to stay in that zone, that they can at least I can see a mirror so they can see me.
Jesus, have you ever provided cover for someone trying to elude Smokey and they will drive under the truck and just hide out there? Like in Smokey and the Bandit? You ever do that?
he's like,
I guess not.
No.
So that the movies must have lied to us.
Wait, and Jesus, last question. A truck driver once told me, like, if we're going to pass the truck, like, do it. Just go past.
Yeah.
Don't linger
Yes.
anywhere there.
Yeah.
Just pass
Yeah,
them.
Just pass.
Yeah.
I even have cars like they linger right on my trailer. Don't do that. Goodness. I be having my signal on. I be wanting to switch lanes.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they want to speed up and stay in the middle of my trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, just clear. Get out of the way.
go.
Move.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Agreed. So let's say the truck is doing 60 miles an hour. You don't want to go any faster than 60 miles an hour. You're with that truck right next to it. Live a little. Go crazy. Bump it up to 65 for about 30 seconds. Pull over into their lane and then temper back to 60, and you guys will be going the same speed, and that left lane is now clear.
Yeah.
Go crazy.
By the way, that's the law in Jersey. You're only supposed to use that left lane for passing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most places are that way for sure. All right, let me read a couple of others. I know we have a ton of calls on the line. Here's one that says, lifeguard, I am not a babysitter. It is your job as a parent to watch your kid when swimming, and if they can't swim, you have to be in the water within 5 feet of them at all times.
If there's an emergency, the lifeguards will help.
Another one, librarian. Public libraries are not safe places to drop off your kids. It's not the books that are unsafe, it's the other patrons and the fact that librarians are not babysitters. Here you go. Here's another thing that people in their industry understand, but the general public doesn't grasp. A zoo worker says, yes, the animal is in the exhibit. Sometimes you have to look a little bit longer than 8 seconds in order to see it.
Well, a lot of them also have.
I've stood there going, where is it?
There's nothing in there.
And then you'll see like the cheetah behind a tree. You'll see a tail popping out. It's like, oh no, I came on the wrong day.
Here's from a designer. It says, if you want to fit a portrait image into a landscape canvas, you either have to crop it, leave a black or white border, or empty space left or right, or distort it, which is almost always a bad idea. On a regular occurrence, clients are unhappy with either of these options, and they just want me to somehow make it fit. I don't know about all that.
What would you say is the biggest misconception about, say, during the day on radio that people listening think that
okay,
that
here's
happens?
the deal. There's no secret way to win a contest, okay? Like, it's at the discretion of whoever is on the air, of what number caller they take, when they ask for you to call in, when they even start answering the calls after they tell you to call in. There's no special line that gets you here quicker. You don't need to wait 10 seconds before you start dialing. You don't need to dial right a little bit beforehand. It is completely arbitrary. There is no way.
No,
so
and
I've had people throughout my career ask me, how do I win a contest? It's like, dude, it is luck of the draw. That's all there is to it.
That's exactly true. And yet, bizarrely, there are certain areas that will get in easier, when we have a contest. It's just the luck of the draw.
Here's one from a dentist, and they simply say, flossing actually helps.
Yeah, it does.
You should know.
I've been flossing for a few years now, and ever since I started flossing, I've had. Well, I don't want to jinx anything, but
yeah, no, dude. I would have be brushing my teeth and spit it out, and blood would be in there, and I'm like, I talked. This is years and years and years ago. I asked my dentist, they're like, are you flossing? No.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Gingivitis. Floss, and that will stop happening, and it sure enough did.
And dentists and dental hygienists can tell when you don't. So
because there's plaque buildup
right?
in there.
But if you're trying to hide it, and there's just no point in lying to them, saying, "Yeah, I floss every day," and if you don't, they'll know.
I've been flossing, I think, since I had teeth.
Yeah, well, my toothbrush is also a water pick simultaneously. So as I'm brushing my teeth, it's a water pick.
Steve, I got that one for Jace.
Awesome.
All right, let me go.
It's loud as hell, though.
I'm going to go to Alex. Hey, Alex, good morning.
Good morning. Sorry for bothering you at work.
Nah, we're happy. What's your line of work?
So I am a vet technician, and one thing that I really wish people...
Lincoln Park this morning on 93.3 WMMR. What have done? 10:34 with the Preston and Steve show. We are wrapping up today's program. And I would like to thank our lone guest this morning, Mr. Jason Myrtetus.
Yeah.
From our sister station, 97.5 The Fanatic. Jason has been battling cancer. He's going through treatment right now, stage 3 colon cancer. And so he's hosting an event tomorrow, and it is it's called the Cancer Warriors Charity Hockey Tournament, and it's going to be at the Flyers practice facility. And it's most of the day. So he said you can get there as early as 9 a.m. And he said that the raffle baskets and stuff are fantastic, like beach house stuff and tons of Flyers
really
things.
Good stuff.
So stop by there and go buy, even if you don't want to spend the day, if you want to go watch the hockey, obviously stick around, but if you want to go get registered for those prizes, that'd be pretty damn cool. But Jason's, man, he's doing well. He has 2 more, his next to last radiation treatment. He was leaving here to go there.
Yeah.
So he already went through a few months of chemo, which he said was just a nightmare. But he's turning things around.
Yeah,
great to have him here this morning.
He's responding well, and it sounds encouraging.
Yep, so it was nice to have him on today. So we appreciate him stopping by, and we'd appreciate your support. In fact, you can go to WMMR.com on the events page, and you'll be able to find the information. And you just show up, and you can get tickets there. You don't have to buy them in advance. So we'd appreciate it if you could support that. We need to do letter of the day.
I got you, boo.
Hey, you're barefoot.
Yeah, I just felt like taking my sandals off.
I just noticed that. All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve show brought to you today by the letter
X as in Xenolith. Don't even know what that is.
All right, so we'll take caller number 9, 610-660-9333. And we will let you attempt to tell us what the word is. If you get it right, then we are going to set you up with the prize, of course. And I'll tell you about that in just a moment. While we have a second, I want to remind you about the big friggin' deal, which is going to expire, I believe, on Sunday. If you don't take advantage of this yet. Or it might be while supplies last. Not really sure. Anyway, you want to move on it now. It is buy one ticket, get one free for Sahara Sam's Water Park. That's in West Berlin, New Jersey. And it says, get this exclusive offer while supplies last. WMMR.com/deals. That's where you are able to find the big friggin' deals at all times. So just want to make sure that you are aware of that and are good to go and take advantage of this awesome package that we have. All right, so we're looking for caller number 9, and we're going to find out what the letter of the day, actually the word of the week is, and it's Jim, who got in to be number 9. Hi, Jim. Good morning.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Good morning, Jim. So do you know what the word of the week is?
The word of the week is flex.
Wait, I don't know.
Casey doesn't know.
Yes, great thing.
Yeah, that's right. All right, right, Jim, I hope you're free tomorrow because you've got yourself a pair of tickets as MMR Rocks Creed, the Return to Summer of 99 tour with special guests Daughtry and Mammoth. So congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, July. Hang on a second. It is at
I don't really like music.
Freedom Mortgage Pavilion.
Not everybody can be Dave McKay, guys.
Some tickets remain via Ticketmaster, by the way. I will take this moment to thank our fine sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show has been brought to you today by Dunkin', and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. And it's also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors. Next week on our program, just to name a few things, we will have in studio, we were just talking about him this morning, your new coach of the Flyers, Rick Tocchet.
Yes.
We will also talk to our good friend from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Mr. Glenn Howerton, or maybe he goes by Glenn Hound. I don't know. And also Donnell Rawlings will be joining us.
Yeah, we love Donnell.
Yep. So that is it. We are done. Rage on, friend. Have yourself a fantastic, safe weekend, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.